work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys, happy Friday, April 5th. Welcome back to the Tony Denaro channel. I've got a couple of guests here with me tonight, and we're going to bring them up on stage here in just a moment. Let me get my screen set up so I can see everybody. There we go. I see you guys in the backstage. Owning the Float, how you doing tonight? Tyler, what's going on? David, good evening. Anya, what's up? Howdy, young lady. We're gonna basically just chill tonight, have a drink and a smoke, talk over our trades for the week, talk over whatever drama's going on. I know Korax wants to talk about he was butting some heads with some people from another company going bankrupt. One we haven't talked about in a year. Apparently, a year ago, I mentioned it and said they were headed to bankruptcy. Well, they're there now, and they're arguing with Korax. Mediocre is going to be here with us tonight. I have a couple of other people invited. I don't know if they'll show up, and we'll just play it by ear. But the other thing that came out today, AMC related, was the proxy statement for upcoming shareholder meeting on June 5th, if I'm not mistaken. And included in that is the 2023 compensation details. And the magazine's already running incorrect headlines. Space calls already happening. I listened in. So much misinformation. Like, honestly, if you guys haven't read the compensation package, you should not be hosting a space call, because it's just embarrassing. Damn embarrassing, the misinformation that's being put out. And I saw Korax was in one of those, and I didn't hear him talk, but I'll give him the opportunity to shoot arrows at me and ask me questions about the compensation package. So without further ado, let's bring some folks up. Where is Mediocre? Where is his intro? Here we go. Mediocre, how you doing, friend?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Did that? Oh yeah, there it is. I couldn't see it on my end on my studio page, but I see it up there on YouTube. How's your week been?
It's been good. I did pretty good. I made some money as usual. Happy with that.
All right, I want to hear about all those great plays you had. I'll share some of my plays too. Do you have any special folks in your chat you want to say hello to before we get started?
I got Gus and Rich over there. What's up, buddy? How are you guys? Let's see who else is over here.
What's up, Gus? Rich?
I'm not sure who else is over there. Hold on, I'm trying to look over there real quick. Probably Pixie's over there. What's up, everybody?
Mike says, how do I get a hat like that? Come to Texas, Mike. We'll get you set up. I'll take you to my favorite spot. Let's get Korax in here. What's up, my friend?
Gotta wonder if Halloween's coming early with that intro.
Well, clearly you're the bad guy on the thumbnail when they say.
I realize I'm the heel program.
Yeah, you're the one that's here to make sure that we don't say anything too outrageously bullish. And guys, if you're tuning in, the format on my shows is to have a variety of guests. It's different people every time we do this. Sometimes we have repeat guests, but to allow you guys to hear from different people on different sides of trades. I heard a retail analyst the other day say in GameStop, he would not ever talk to somebody that had a different idea than him. His only idea was buy and hold no matter what. And if you had a different idea, he doesn't ever want to talk to you again. And I think that is a missed opportunity.
Definitely.
I love to talk to people that have different ideas than me, as long as they can be adult about it.
Well, and if it's who I think it is, but I'm not going to. I think they'd be surprised to know that I'm not that hard on GameStop. I'm pretty neutral as it is. My problem isn't that they can't turn around. I think they've got enough cash that they could, if they executed, they could. My problem's mainly with management.
I thought your problem was with the misinformation being put out on YouTube.
Oh, well, that too. Don't get me wrong, but as far as GameStop is concerned, I'm not that bearish on it. I still think there's a chance that it's not going to go back up to the highs from COVID and all that, but there's a chance it could still go forward as a good company.
You're not one of those people putting out that GameStop bankruptcy FUD, are you?
No, they're definitely got a long runway with all that cash sitting on their balance sheet, so that's not anything to worry about anytime soon.
So you took a 1-day trade on it?
Mm-hmm. I shorted it 5 minutes before market close on earnings. Earnings did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and I closed the position the next day for a 15% profit.
I've only ever been long on GameStop. I sold mine at 16 or what would that be? 2 minutes before market close. I'm trying to juggle time zones here. 2 minutes before market close. Mm-hmm. I posted it in my video, my receipts. They want to see, where's your receipts? You always say you sell at the top. Not always, but if I say it, then I did it. I sold and I posted the trade ticket in my GameStop earnings recap about 2 minutes before the market closed. I also was probably talking to Mediocre live when I did it. I posted it in my Discord. If I say something, guys, I did it. Yeah. You don't have to question me just because you don't like what I'm saying. So I locked in profits, and now I'm just waiting for it to come back down to a support line where I feel my risk is minimal to go long again.
Tony, are you telling me you're not afraid to sell stocks and not hold them?
The only way to make money, Mediocre, is to sell. I mean, at some point, you need to sell.
Yep. Yep.
The idea is buy low, sell high, right? The basic idea, at least the way I've always been taught, is buy low, sell high.
It depends on who you're asking, right?
It does depend on who you're asking.
It's like Herm Edwards once said, you play to win the game.
Mediocre, a very wise man told me something this morning, and I've already had a drink, so I'm probably going to butcher it. But he said, fall in love with your profits, not with a stock ticker, or something to that effect.
He did something to that effect. It's I forget the exact quote he used, but it was along the lines of, don't be emotional with your stock, be emotional with your money.
Don't be emotionally attached. Be emotionally attached to your money, not to a ticker. That's what he said.
Well, like I said the last time we were here, like this is your hard work. You should defend it and protect it.
So I think we covered GameStop. You were short for a couple minutes, or was it you sold in the morning? I mean, you bought back in the morning?
Yeah. Like shortly. I waited for that peak to come back down, and I closed it.
You're not overly bearish on GameStop. I've only ever been long, but I've just been hopping in and out. I'm not bearish on GameStop either. I just think it's overvalued. And I know they said, why would Tony sell 2 minutes before market close? Everyone thought it was going up. No, not everyone, guys. You know damn well there's whole Reddit subreddits dedicated to people who don't think it's going up. If you think everyone thinks it's going up, you're operating in a vacuum, and that's a very dangerous way to operate.
And really, the way they pumped the stock in the days leading up, even if they did show good numbers, it was probably going to come back down to some extent because they pumped the stock so high.
Well, I said
a whole lot.
I said very clearly in my Discord in the week running up prior to that, that the fact that they were not scheduling a call, I was going to be out of that stock before end of market on that day. So I had already told my Discord what I was doing in advance.
Even our close friend Tony, who is a big GameStop guy, even he didn't like the fact that they weren't going to have a call.
He's got a big position in GameStop, and he said, "Yeah, that's a bearish signal." That's why we love him, because he, even though he has a big position in the stock, he can still see reality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they did pull out a Q4 profit, so pat them on the back for that. But they still got a ways to go. Like I expected, they had an operational loss. And that's part. GameStop is still reconfiguring things, but also the fact that Q4 retail sales sucked. Real rate of growth for Q4 was 0.7%. That's abysmal.
Yep.
That's going to hurt everybody.
And now we're entering a slower quarter, or several slower quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to play it by ear. If it gets down to a resistance line that I've been I'll put out weekly TA charts until I buy back in. If it gets down there, then, and I think my risk is minimal, I'll give it a shot with a tight stop loss. And if it doesn't get down there, if it just trades in a channel in that falling wedge, then we'll just wait. But I'm very good at waiting.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's tell us about Troika. Oh, wait. By the way, final thought on GameStop. Yesterday it was running up, and I was asking myself, why the hell is it running up? Because I've been saying to myself for weeks, there's no reason for this thing to run up. Mm-hmm. So I bought puts yesterday, midday, as it peaked around 1174, and they expired today, which is not normal for me. I don't normally buy short-term puts, but I think the devil was sitting on my shoulder, and he was like, "Yeah, do it." And
for the Lord.
Lo and behold, the COO gets fired overnight, and I made over 300% on that trade in less than 24 hours. I sold them soon after the market opened, as it was dipping below $11.
It's crazy how that happened too, huh, Tony? When you were
it was partly my DD and partly some extra good luck.
Yeah.
All right, Troika. Troika is a media group. I have done I've done one video on it a year ago, where they were doing the whole misinformation. Hey guys, this stock's got 500% short interest. I think that's what was going on, and it was running up. You know how that happens, right?
Yeah.
And whenever I see that, I usually make a video about it, no matter the ticker. And other than that, I haven't thought about Troika in a year. But you told me that they're bothering you right now. Tell us what happened.
Well, I had made a post on Twitter to just some other Twitter user that I follow, Ramen Soups, and apparently that came up as the topic of discussion. It was Troika, and I knew this was already going to be a juicy conversation. Was when it was TRKAQ.
Yeah.
And so they said they're doing the Bed Bath and Beyond shtick now. We're getting bought out. We're going to make so much money and everything. It's like, guys, it's a bankruptcy. You guys ain't getting shit. And lo and behold, I actually looked at the bankruptcy documents, and sure enough, like, I can pull them up on a screen share. The bankruptcy.
Yeah, do it. Let's see it if you got it there. I feel like you're leading us down a story that sounds very towel-like.
Oh, very much.
I had a good friend who was in Troika, and I'm like, what the hell? This was a year ago. I'm like, dude, get out of that stock. What the frick are you doing?
But it's really easy to find on the bankruptcy plan. What page is this? Page 17 of docket ID 196. This is the bankruptcy plan, and there's the schedule for all the classes of people who have interest in the company. Secured claims unimpaired, and then the tax claims, and then you got your GUCs impaired, and of course that means the equity holders are impaired and getting nothing as well.
So for folks that aren't familiar with looking at bankruptcy documents, what we're looking here is basically, is this what you call the waterfall?
Yeah, and in fact,
So
I've got
this is the order of people getting paid, and your bond holders or your first lien holders who have secured claims, that is class 1, and their status is unimpaired. Which, does that mean they're getting a full payout, or they're just not impaired?
it doesn't specify on there, but
All right.
unimpaired, yeah, can be that you're not getting full, but you're getting some sort of reimbursement. Usually they'll say that it's partially impaired or partially unimpaired. So I assume that that means they're getting full payout when it just straight up
And
says
what
they're
I'm
unimpaired.
not as much of a bankruptcy expert as you are, because you look at far more of them than I do. What is a priority non-tax claim, and where do the tax claims fall in? Are
The
they
tax,
above even secured?
yeah, because you better be
You
paying
always
your
pay the
taxes.
tax man first, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So priority non-tax claims, I would assume, is all the like trade creditors and things like that, all the different like things that would be above the unsecured claims, but not quite.
Would a landlord be a non-priority non-tax?
I don't think so, because
Okay.
land usually
Not
what
that
happens,
Troika has a bunch of
yeah,
real estate.
because usually what happens with the landlord situation is the leases get sold off to try
Okay.
and generate funds.
Then who is Blue Torch deficiency claim? Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
All right. And then general unsecured, that would be the common stockholders, right?
No, general unsecured would be your unsecured bondholders, the ones
Okay.
that took out bonds with no security tied to them or anything.
So shouldn't it say common stockholders there, or just unsecured?
That's it. That's the interest in the debtor. That's the shareholders.
Okay. All right. I thought, like, when I remember reading through the Bed Bath & Beyond, and it seemed like it was spelled out a little more clearly.
Yeah, it really depends on who's writing the bankruptcy plan. They depending on who writes it, they have a style that's consistent. But
It's clear to me by looking at that common stockholders are not in any class that is unimpaired.
Correct. In fact, they're deemed to not accept, which they already assume that they're not getting anything, and that they would be deemed to reject the plan because they're not getting anything.
So all I recall from my video about a year ago was I said, in a run-up, I said, take your damn profits. This is a very fishy play. The executives were setting themselves up with some bonuses. You might have seen this before in some other companies. Correct. They were setting themselves up with some massive bonuses
Get that
if they
parachute.
sold the company, they would get a golden parachute. So I was like, this company's either going bankrupt or it's getting sold, but it's not what you're being told on social media.
For sure.
And how did I know that? Read the filings, not what social media is saying. It was just right there in plain black and white.
Great example of it. I know this is off on another topic that we talked about probably earlier. I'm going to go ahead and yank that.
Good old TRKA.
We were was the Trump media group, that news that came out this week about, oh my goodness, they're going to go bankrupt. They have a going concern notice. Oh my goodness, the sky is falling. Ha ha ha. Look at all the Trump voters. They got rug pulled. I even bought into it a little bit too, because, like, not for the Trump part of it, but just I think SPACs are a different way to say fraud, because all these SPACs have been bad news bears. But I went, and as soon as I got off of work, I read the filing. I'm like, they're not saying that they're going to go bankrupt. What I had heard from some of the people that are bankruptcy lawyers that I have as contacts said that, well, it was probably that the 10K was written before the de-SPACing was complete. So they had to go under the assumption that if this corporate action was not consummated, that the Trump media group would probably go bankrupt because they had all this debt and stuff. But it says clearly in the 10K that if this reverse merger is approved, then they're fine. They've got so much cash, they can always go to the equity markets to get more liquidity and everything. And so you know, if you read the filings again, if you read the filings, you would know that this really wasn't a problem. And conveniently, quietly after hours closed, all the articles got changed to be more facty.
I had the same initial reaction. I read that. I was like, holy hell, how is this possible? They did a SPAC and they already have a going concern disclosure. And so I retweeted the article, and this was my mistake. I retweeted the article before I read the filing. And I went and read the filing, and you can see the tweet's still up. Like within 30 minutes, I had already issued a comment like, go read the filings yourself before you believe this.
Yeah.
Because I came to the same independent conclusion when I read that filing. Like the going concern disclosure was prior to the SPAC merger, and they raised a bunch of money in the SPAC merger. So I don't really care enough about DJT to go spend any more time on it than that. But I knew it wasn't what the media was pushing. And then right after that got cleared up, I saw he was suing somebody. Did you see that? He's suing somebody.
I saw that, but I hadn't read too much into it. Something about how some of the partners shouldn't get the shares or something like that because they didn't do something.
The fact that the price is coming down is like not high on my list to go spend a lot of time learning about DJT. It was for me a
trades on Trump news. That
it was a great
company, so I don't want to touch it.
It was a great trade. It ran up. I would have already been out, and I don't care about it right now until it settles down into whatever people decide that it's really worth after the pump. So at some point, maybe I'll go back and look at it, but not
I don't
on
think
the way
you'll see
down
that until after November.
Well, I mean, it could have another pump prior to November.
Well, that too. Yeah.
I wouldn't count Donald Trump out or DJT, but we need to let a little bit of this froth settle out. I think it'll be a highly volatile, interesting stock, but you better know what's going on in the filings and
for sure.
Whatever legal status. Don't just go by the pumpers on social media. Doc Zeno says the only thing that matters is what social media says. Facts are irrelevant. That does work for about a day, Doc Zeno, right? And then
I love Doc
reality
Zeno.
catches up.
Yeah, he has my level of sarcasm.
I'm a professional says, what did you guys do with Massalorian? I actually I texted him tonight. Let me see if he answered.
I got him down in the storm shelter.
I was trying. Yeah, he's locked up in the basement. I was trying to get proof of life from my good friend that I haven't heard from. And here's okay. I do have a message from him just so you can. I'm not going to show his number, but you can see he did message me back. He said, he's having some dispute with a software vendor. I don't know if it's his internet or Restream or what, but he says it'll be 24 hours.
Uh-oh.
So I'm assuming it's Restream. But Johnny, if you're watching, text me because you don't need Restream. I've got the pro package. I can just send you an invite on Twitter. You don't need to have a package.
Yeah.
So let me know. Let me know if you're watching Massalorian, and I'll
reach out. Come hang out with us.
DM you. We'd love to hear from you. People want to know that you're okay.
Yeah, buddy.
They think you got silenced. No, he's been traveling all over the world, guys, and now that he's back in the U.S., he's trying to get set up in his new location. Last time I talked to him, he hadn't even found a place to stay yet. So I'm curious, just like you are, to hear what is the latest with our friend.
Yep.
Mediocre. Tell us about.
Sure.
Did you have any good trades this week?
Actually, there was a few good trades. I helped some people out. I looked at several trades. I got some good trades for, some family members, stuff like that. I'll talk about them. So
while you're talking about those, I'm going to bring up a chart for Anya on GameStop. She's asking what's a good bottom feeder price to consider, Anya. Anya, look at GameStop here on the daily chart. This is the falling wedge, which goes back years. Very solid pattern. I drew the yellow line just copying from another YouTube channel. The retail analysts that cover GameStop. Clearly, this line that they said it would never go below has been invalidated. So we can probably just delete this because I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. Let's just delete it. Let's go with somebody who actually knows how to do DD.
Come on, wedgies are acceptable.
Let's go with someone here that actually knows how to do TA. We got a falling wedge
That ain't
pattern.
gonna be me, so I'll leave it to the experts. So YouTube.
Mediocre is good. If I say something wrong, he can correct me. We're in a falling wedge, Anya. I'm looking for it to find some support on this bottom line. Now, the thing that we don't know is it could travel downward diagonal in the wedge for a long time, months, and never hit this support line, or it could just keep on dropping flat, and we could hit support at $9.
Or Tony, it could hit that wedge, bounce back up, and stay in that, and still continue on down.
Or it could hit this,
Yeah.
and drop through it. Right? It could be bad.
Yeah.
So if we hit this is where I start getting interested on you. Whenever we get close to this line is where I'm going to start doing more coverage for you guys on what I'm doing with GameStop. The other thing that could happen is it could shoot up. You can see there's a lot of touches on the upside as we go back in the wedge. And so it could shoot up, and that'd be great for GameStop holders. It'd be a great time to take profit if it's just shooting up on no news. But if there was news on GameStop, a strategic change in direction, and it goes through the resistance line up here, that might be a time to buy on some bullish momentum, because you could have a good breakout,
a new revenue stream, right, Tony?
Right, or an acquisition.
Yeah.
So we'd want news, and we'd want to see a breakout through this resistance line, and then you'd feel pretty safe, much safer than just randomly buying 2 shares every day, which is a recipe for disaster, because you're going to buy declining shares every day for 2 years if you're not paying attention to the TA and what's going on with the company.
Yeah.
Tony, there's a comment you got to read. Rolf left you a comment there.
Rolf says, Mandalorian movie coming in 2026. Is that the one?
No.
Or the one that says, don't be emotionally attached to your stocks, be emotionally attached to your money. That is Rolf is the wise man that we're quoting. So thank you for correcting
exactly. Good job.
So Anya, you're in the Discord. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll post weekly updates or more frequent as we get closer to support on GameStop. I'm anxious to buy back in. I'm not bearish on GameStop. I'm just realistic.
Thanks, Lynn, on the helping some people out by giving them some free gifts.
Some free gifts. Oh, did you get a free? Is that the free member to your channel?
Yeah, a few people got some.
Did you get a retail analyst stalking you on your channel?
No, not today. It looks like.
I mean, as a member, did someone snipe a free membership?
Yeah.
So Tony, you ready to talk some trades?
Yeah, let's talk your trades, and then we'll hit Chris's question on C and K, because that's another great topic for today on their upgrade.
So I also know you took the same trade, but the $3 put that expires next Friday, that's money.
All right, let's clarify for the flat earthers in the audience. When you say a $3 put, are you buying or selling?
Selling.
All right, and you're talking about which ticker?
I'm talking about AMC.
All right, so let's pull it up. Let's pull up the trade. I am in the same trade.
Oh no, barcodes.
That's not barcodes. That's crime. We're going to pull up what we're looking at on AMC and why we're selling the $3 calls. And this is not trading advice. We're just sharing with you guys what we're doing. So I have put out several videos about, come on, damn it. I put out several videos about my theory on the dilution, that there were some big sales from AMC on the 28th and on the 1st. And then even on the 2nd, we still had some downward momentum, but we've been flattened out here now for 2 days. And you guys know that I called a bottom on this stock at $2.93, which was the bottom for the week. So I'm not saying that next week we can't go lower, or the week after that we certainly could. Depends on the market, depends on AMC's motivation to sell. But we think that a lot of this negative price momentum was AMC selling shares. You can tell by the heavy volume. And I think that they're heavily motivated to get this money before the earnings call, because that'd be great to be able to brag about in a couple weeks. So our math says that they probably don't want to be selling below $3.
Exactly.
So we're selling $3 covered, $3 cash secured puts, collecting the premium on it this week. If it drops below $3, we're going to be stuck buying AMC at $3, but we're okay with that, because we think even if it drops to $2.50, that once we get closer to Q3, as long as there's no dilution, and especially if they get the debt worked out, that we see a push back up. And you saw a little bit of good news in the industry with that Cinemark upgrade, which makes me feel even better. So we got some separate issues we're watching that are specific to AMC, but overall, we're more bullish than the bears that the long-term trend for the industry this year is okay. So yes, this is a speculative trade. This is risky. You're buying shares in a company that's not yet profitable. Let's be very clear. I saw Corex. I saw on your friend's channel, they're saying Tony Denaro is telling everybody this is a long-term play. Mediocre, have you ever heard me say this is a long-term play? You've known me for years.
Nothing's long-term for us. We don't care. We're not emotional about the stock. We don't care, right? Ain't nobody gonna tell me. Number one, I'm gonna get this right off. I'm kind of done with it, to be honest. It is about time you guys actually hear what I really think. My portfolio is my fucking business, okay? What I do with my money is my fucking choice. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't sell a put, sell a call, buy a fucking share, sell a share. None of you are ever gonna tell me that, ever. So you can leave comments, hate, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Let's get that fucking clear, okay? I don't. So I'm in the market to make fucking money, period. Okay? You can do your whole fucking buy and hold theory, whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. I'm sorry, Tony, I got to do it.
Hey, really, you speak for yourself. Go ahead, my friend. This is your moment.
So if you don't like what I do, fuck you. I don't care. You want to learn? I'm willing to fucking help you out. Other than that,
my biggest rant of the week, and I'm going to say again, Corex, why your friends lying on me? The fact that I provide coverage on a stock.
I don't control them.
But they're not the only ones. I provide coverage on a stock, and all of a sudden I'm pumping it. Like, I've made 20 Hycroft videos. Every single one has said if I'm in Hycroft, it's only for a swing trade, that the company's not mining. It's a very risky play. I've been called a hedge fund plant for being so negative on Hycroft. But then I got to hear dipshits on other YouTube channels saying I'm pumping Hycroft. Like, bro, have you ever fucking once listened to my video? Or you're so stupid that all you can do is read a thumbnail and you just have this assumption in your head? I look at plays very realistically, and I provide realistic info. There were squeeze opportunities we talked about in 2021. I'm tired of saying we're not in 2021 anymore, guys. Wake the fuck up.
I'm going to tell you guys a strategy I did today. Yesterday, I bought 300 fucking shares of AMC at $3. You know what I did this morning? I sold a fucking call option for $3 fucking and made 7 cents a fucking share. Guess what'll happen Monday morning? Monday morning, I'll buy fucking 300 shares again, rinse and repeat. You guys can sit there and fucking twiddle your thumbs. I'm making fucking money. I don't care. Sorry, Tony.
That's all right. We got a lot. We want to get off our chest here. So yeah, the fact that I cover a stock, whether it's Highcroft, I've done some videos on Bed Bath & Beyond. Every single one of them said, get the fuck out. I sold Bed Bath & Beyond the day before Ryan Cohen. He was copying my trade. But I still got to hear these dipshit clowns saying I'm pumping Bed Bath & Beyond because I made a video. Bro, again, go watch the video where I'm saying for the last year, get the F out. It's going bankrupt. These fucking liars on YouTube make me sick. Both the people making videos and the fucking trolls that we got to watch, that clearly don't watch our content, but have this idea in their head about what we say.
I'm going to need another fucking beer here soon. Listen, here's another play. I'll tell you guys. I trade with, well, I'll just say my dad's in my trading community, okay? My dad's very smart, but he's been on this play, and I'm going to talk about it because he's smart, but he uses a strategy that we all use, and he uses – there's many ways to skin this cat, okay? So anyway, I'll tell you the play he's in. He's in a CTRA. It's an oil-based company, whatever. So I'll quickly explain what he does. He'll buy 100 shares of that stock, and he'll sell a call option against it at a higher price. And as it gets close to going into the money, he'll buy another 100 shares of stock and sell a call option higher that because he's laddering his way up, making fucking money, people. He's not sitting here. You have got to be proactive or understand. If you're going to sit here and hold and cry because we're getting fucking diluted because AMC needs money, what do you want me to tell you? Read the fucking filings. It's there. Hate me if you want to. I don't care.
You know what I want to bring up? Should I bring this up? Maybe I'll bring it up when we get into AMC, but I want to contribute to the statement of facts, Corex.
Mm-hmm.
I want to contribute to the Popcorn Project statement of facts.
Oh boy.
I got something that is factual that they might want to see. Give me a minute. I'm going to pull it up. But what was I going to say? Oh, in the Discord, was it yesterday, Mediocre? We had a free training session on what Mediocre was just talking about. Free training session for everybody in the Discord on the wheel strategy. If you're holding a stock, how to sell covered calls on it and generate income while you're holding. Or if you want to buy more stock, like I'd like to buy some more AMC if it drops to a certain price, I can sell cash secured puts, generate immediate income, and still get the stock at the price that I want if it falls to the point where I'm willing to buy it. And I talk to people every day. Tony, I'm just waiting for AMC to hit 250 and then I'm going to buy it. Well, then sell a cash secured put. You got the money, sell the put and make some money today. And if it drops to 250, you're going to be in. You're going to buy those shares. You got a bonus, and it reduced your cost basis on top of that. So I just want to say that training that we did, I will get that out to everybody in the YouTube audience, hopefully later this weekend, so you can see the type of stuff that we're doing. And if you're interested in learning how to take charge of your account instead of being a victim, if you're interested in learning how to think like a CEO or be around people who are actually reading the filings instead of creating theories about red cows and the eclipse, join the fucking channel and you get free access to the Discord. And we're happy to share all this info with you. I'm not on YouTube as much because I'm just tired of dealing with clowns that want to, lie about our content or just troll in the comments.
You got idiots who talk very well on the internet. They talk great. They sound good, but they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. And then they got the nerve to talk about us. Like, really? You don't even have a fucking clue what selling a put was. You know what? I'm going to call them out. Fuck it. I don't care. Okay. It's done, Tony. Done. All right. I fucking told Casey Shaw this information how fucking long ago? fucking told him. I gave Casey Shaw every fucking bit of DT. He chose not to do it. I told him about selling calls. I even explained to him how selling puts benefits people. Period. He didn't even understand. He told me that you don't get the premium. This is what he said. I'm gonna call him out, and I have fucking witnesses, so he can deny that this happened if he wants to. But there's fucking people there. Okay, fuck it. And this is on live. I'll have another beer after this. I told this fucking guy that you get the premium and the shares if it goes into money. He told me no, you only get one or the other. I said,
No,
Casey,
you get both.
I gave him the fucking information, and he still tried to fucking say I was wrong. Still. What does that say? And I'm not trying to trash KC or fucking Boss Blunts or any of them. I don't care. The bottom line is, you guys want to follow those people? That's on you. I don't do that. I'm in charge of my own portfolio. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate anybody. And if you hate me, fuck you. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Is it true you also showed him a spreadsheet with mathematical proof that AMC was going to crash in price and APE would go up, and that
Absolutely, Tony.
anybody
You know
that held AMC would get decimated during the combination of APE and AMC?
Absolutely. I even showed him my fucking portfolio to prove it to him. You were there. You seen it.
I know.
Right on my Discord.
I
mean,
there.
I think we all three discussed the arbitrage there that AMC was going to come down from the fact that, you know, the two.
So what happened after you showed him that mediocre? Did he go give his audience a heads up that, hey, here's some new DD that just came in? I don't know if it's true, but it might be significant for you guys to know about.
No, he went on his fucking live stream and told everybody he was selling a fucking dream.
And then he blocked us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's not the only one. Like, I don't want this to be about singling him out. He ain't the only one, Tony.
Oh, yeah. You guys think I'm joking. What about
the other fucking guy who said there was no such thing as arbitrage in AMC? Like, you know?
Guys think I'm joking. If you knew how many
pumpers
annoying. Have blocked me for providing fact-based information, you'd be shocked. People call me a pumper, and it makes me laugh because all the pumpers have blocked me, guys. I'm just a guy providing facts and talking about financials. And the fact that you don't like it because you got diluted and you held through a reverse split, that's not on me. I told you for a year it was going to happen.
Yeah, I made bank on that happening because we all knew it was going to happen.
Tony, how much money did you lose during the fucking APE conversion bullshit?
I lost a little bit. You know, I made money back in May of 2021, long before YouTube. I bought some shares at a high price after that later in 2021, and I lost money holding those shares all the way till 2023. But at the point we knew that the conversion was going to go through, as we were saying, there was an arbitrage play there. I swapped all my AMC that I had a loss on for cheap APE, and I made that money back when APE ran up. That's repairing your portfolio. It was a difficult decision, but we knew what was going to happen. What?
How much money do you think I lost?
I don't know. I don't know that we've ever talked dollar amounts.
Zero. I actually moved. I'll tell you how fucking smart I am when it comes to that shit. I actually moved positions that I was losing in the fucking APE because I knew I could make money on it.
You bought more. You bought in more when APE was cheap, right?
Yeah, I closed other positions that I was underwater on and moved them into APE just because the value that it was at allowed me to make money. And then during
Corax, I was going to say Corax, you're independent, but I don't know if they would say you're independent because you were playing the arbitrage too. But Corax, what do you have to say to people that said it's our fault that they lost money because we made the RS happen? We were reverse split influencers. What do you say to those people?
Well, I'd say that like everyone's going to, trade based on their own personal financial interests. They obviously were trading on their own financial interests, but that they don't ever talk about that or question that for a single moment. And, at some point you have to understand the fact of the matter as to what was going to happen. The company needed money. The reverse split was going to happen. or it was going to go bankrupt. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious that the trade was going to go in that way. So why did you decide that, you saw the train coming down the tracks? Why did you stand in front of the fucking train and get hit?
Because they thought the judge was going to save them, correct? Because it's embezzlement, fraud, and RICO. And that is a great segue into this DD, my contribution to the statement of facts, June 2021. Does anybody remember when APE came out?
I'd
Before
have
I
to
pull
go
this
look
up,
at the documentation.
it was what, like August 2022?
Yeah, that's when they
All right.
dropped the
Hang on,
SEC
babe.
filings.
My wife just got home, but hang on. I'm right in the middle of a rant here. I'm going to share this screen as my official
Hold on, honey. Someone's wrong on the
contribution.
internet.
Yeah. My official contribution to the statement of facts, June 2021,
Is this for the popcorn gang, Tony?
for the
Yeah.
Project Popcorn people. I
Maybe back up.
tried to make it
I know you
bigger
had
so
highlighted.
everybody can read it. This is from the risk factors in AMC's 10Q.
There you go.
Risk factors, which I tell you guys over and over and over to go read on any company. Nothing that has happened to you in any play in the last 3 years wasn't already disclosed. I guarantee you that. Am I lying, Corax?
No,
Everything that's happened to everybody in every play pretty much has been disclosed.
Absolutely.
AMC said the risk of future dilution must be weighed against the risk of failing to increase our authorized shares. Remember, they couldn't issue any more shares. It says we may also issue securities convertible into or exchangeable for or that represent the right to receive shares of Class A common stock. What do you think that is, guys?
It's what they did with the preferred. Yeah.
That is APE.
Absolutely.
And somewhere in here, there's another risk factor that says they could issue preferred shares. So you think you're going to win against AMC in court on embezzlement, fraud, RICO, blah, blah, blah,
When
blah,
they
blah.
straight up told you.
You have a public filing disclosure filed with the SEC that was your duty to fucking read, and you didn't do it.
Never mind.
You're not going to win in court.
Never mind that securities fraud is exempted from the RICO statute by way of
I know
the
that.
SLRA.
I'm just, I don't want to dump.
I
on
just
them too
figured
much.
since my whole thing is the legal stuff, that I just come in and you got the alley oop there, and I'm just gonna slam it into the bucket.
So Tony, I just received a text message right here, okay? And it's from our friend Grandpa Barney, aka Adam Aaron.
Adam Aaron, the electrical high line worker.
The fucking linesman. Adam Aaron, the fucking linesman. He wants
Multi-talented.
me to let all of you know, okay? During that APE conversion and reverse split bullshit, he made all of his fucking money back.
They don't believe him. I've seen the comments. They don't believe him. That's the other thing why I just don't entertain these clowns. Why don't you post? Why don't you? Because every time we say something, you say, well, I heard him say that, but I don't believe him. Then why are we even entertaining you? That's why we don't fucking talk to you. Because you're all clowns. You're conspiracy nut jobs. Even if someone tells you something on camera, on recording, you say you don't believe it. There's something wrong in your head.
Listen, I mean, all right, let me ask you a question. Let's talk terms. Clorax, you familiar with fucking terms in the stock market, like stock market terms?
Depends.
I bet he's heard one or two.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Can you tell me what a synthetic price failure is, Clorax? Can you tell me?
No.
Wait, what was that? You asked him what?
I asked him what a synthetic price failure is.
Never heard of it.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Don't get me fucking fired up. I had enough, bro. Done.
Can you give us the definition, mediocre? I'm not familiar with the term.
I'd have to go over to the Reddit community and go look up fucking Cold Steel Pop. He's got it over there on his fucking Reddit page.
I've been doing this about 20, 30 years. I've never heard of a synthetic
That's
price
one of the
failure.
things that I absolutely hate is when some of these like social media types, they'll have their stuff like seller boxing and all this stuff, and they never define their terms as to what's going on. So you're just kind of going, burden of proof's on you guys. So when you get back to me on that,
Fucking clowns is what they are, dude, for real. Like, talk about real information, not some bullshit you made up in a fucking back room and put a post on Reddit. Like, give me a break. I'm done with it. I don't care.
I don't care about your heat lamp DD bullshit crap.
Rolf says, where is Ethan Leibovitz these days? I don't know where
He's in
Ethan
jail
is.
still.
He blocked me. He told me about 2 years ago that he was putting me on notice about the postcards. And then he blocked me, and I've never heard from him again. Corex, you know what's going on with Ethan?
He failed to post bail, so he will be sitting in jail until his court date, which I believe is on the 24th.
Wait, he's in jail?
He is in jail.
What happened?
He got, well, there's a bit of a story. I went over part of it in a YouTube video on my channel, but apparently back in November, he threatened or otherwise harassed the district attorney for
in our room,
Bronx County there in New York. And then he got 3 charges. I think one was for the harassment, one was for doing it over the phone, and then there was a 3rd charge that I can't remember. And he was basically ROR'd. And if you don't know what that means, he was released on his own recognizance. And they put a restraining order on him not to communicate with the Queens. It wasn't Bronx. It was the Queens County DA, that he could no longer communicate with the Queens County DA directly. That's what his attorney is responsible for. And he, was about 2 weeks ago, he did it again anyway. And so 2 days later, the police came and picked him up, put him in jail until his arraignment. He pled not guilty. They put him on, the bond was set at 50,000 cash or 100,000 secured surety bond. He posted partially the cash bond, and since he couldn't do it in full, they are keeping him in jail.
Wow. Well, I hate to hear that anybody's in jail, but I mean, you do got to follow the law.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that harass and threaten people, what's up with our friend the Texan? The Ethan was advising.
Yeah.
On a pending court case with Adam Aaron.
Yeah. Last I knew about that one, he asked for his 3rd extension of time out to, I want to say it was either May or June. And Adam Aaron's lawyer filed in opposition. We still haven't heard back from the court on that. But he's been warned by the court because he put in his attached document the unfinished statement of facts. The court has warned him twice, and Adam Aaron's lawyers have warned him as well that these sorts of conspiratorial pleadings will not be heard, and he should not do that.
Speaking of conspiratorial pleadings, do you have any updates on Donahue George? I heard he has a court case.
I haven't been following him. I've been trying to get a hold of the the case number for that so I could look into it further. I had it at one point and cleared it off my pacer, and I haven't been able to find it again.
I'm really interested to follow that case, and I'm hoping that we get one filed in federal court in Louisiana from our other friend.
Tony.
Yeah.
Can we take Chris's comment right here? Like, Chris, do you want real information? Like, I'm happy, and I'm sure Tony's happy, and to give you the information what we actually believe. All right.
Yeah.
Regarding Cinemark and AMC.
Absolutely.
All right. I actually like this question. So here's the deal. Here's my opinion of the differences. Okay. Number one, Cinemark is a much smaller company. They have much less overhead. All right. Their balance sheet is stronger because of that reason. It doesn't, they generate more income based on their theaters. They have less rent, a lot of things, and a smaller flow.
Yep.
Those are the answers I got for you. Why they're more profitable than AMC. AMC is a massive company, the largest in the world as far as movie theater companies. That's all I got. Tony, what do you got for that?
I have been, for people that have this very question for several quarters now, been providing quarterly reports on IMAX and Cinemark, not because I'm long on those companies, but I think if you're in AMC, especially since this question comes up so much, why is IMAX doing good? Why is Cinemark doing good? You should know what's going on at the competitors. So once a quarter, I report on their earnings. Go watch the most recent video I did on both IMAX and Cinemark. They're excellent run companies. They're profitable. They have low debt. They're profitable at lower box office. And when we look at the price, $18 versus $3, that's not, you can't ever compare stocks on price.
Here's the other thing. If you look in the chat right now, Sycamore Style just made a perfect comment. Somebody who pays attention to what's going on. That's true. Cinemark is also 100% institutional owned. Go read the information.
And there's a reason why they're institutionally owned, because it is a profitable company. Institutions don't want any part of AMC right now because it's high risk. People are, oh, well, it's institutionally owned. No wonder their price is being pushed up. It's the other way around, guys. The price is high and the company is profitable. Therefore, institutions are willing to invest in it. You're
messing up the correlation.
Your whole thinking has been twisted by 3 years of people giving you bullshit information. Institutions don't invest in non-profitable companies.
It's the same way with short selling for me. It's not that I'm trying to help, drag the company down, destroy it, blah, blah, blah. It's the company's already doing that job for me. I'm just trying to profit from it.
Exactly. It's about the value what the stock is worth.
You will see Vanguard and BlackRock invested in AMC because they're holding ETF index tracking funds that AMC is a part of. They're obligated to hold it. You see other more nimble trading institutions that might see some value like we do in a speculative trade on AMC to pick it up cheap and hope that the bull thesis works out. So there's going to be some institutions holding AMC, but not a massive amount of the percentage of holdings like Cinemark until AMC fixes their balance sheet. So there will be a time when, as long as AMC fixes its problems and the box office improves, there'll be a time that institutions start taking bigger chunks of AMC. That's actually part of the bull thesis of being a speculative investor. You want to be in when it's cheap before the institutions start snapping it up and driving the price up. But you must recognize the risk of being in this early.
Yeah, I have a play exactly like that right now I haven't gotten in very deep because I'm still waiting to see what their Q1 results are and see if they still keep on this profitability trend. But I just hopped into Kirkland, KIRK, because they posted a profitable fourth quarter. And if they can get this year be profitable, well, last time they had a full profitable quarter, they were back around $7, $8, $9 range. And right now they're trading at $2.30. That I think is a good, if they deliver on continuing to improve.
The other thing that I wanted to say, because I said you can't look at the price when you're comparing Cinemark to AMC, and I see someone in the comments said here you should compare market caps, and that is a valid statement, because when there's different size floats, you could have comparable market caps but a very different price. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Cinemark has 5 times less the float than AMC, you could have a price that's 5 times higher in the same market cap. So don't ever look at the price. That is a beginner's mistake, and I hope to teach you guys to think about that. Maybe rewind, ask me a question later. I could do a video on it either, but market cap is a good place to start.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to get extra advanced, learned about enterprise value, it's a real useful tool for including the balance sheet in your calculations.
And if you're comparing profitable companies, you could look at the PE ratio. It's not as effective when you're looking at a non-profitable company like AMC, because there's not really a price to earnings ratio. But if you want to learn more about PE ratios, I just did a video on that. It's funny, like all the educational content I put out is the least viewed. The value, blue chip, profitable companies that I cover, least viewed. Babe, can you bring me a beer?
Tony, pull up Antrick's comment as well.
Can you bring me a beer?
Because I got something to say to this as well. Pull up Antrick's comment right here. Cinemark.
Antric. Okay.
That was Cineworld, right? That went bankrupt,
Right.
not Cinemark.
Cineworld.
Well, regardless, though, here's the point I want to make to this gentleman who I don't know, but I'm going to be as nice as possible. The market is forever fucking changing, people. They might have went bankrupt whenever, if they did, right? But it doesn't matter. What's going on with the company right now in this year is what matters. If you need to understand what's happening with the company, what's happening with the stock. Okay, right now, Cinemark is a profitable company, and they're going to be just fine, and they're going to be able to pay their debt, whatever it is, right? That's why it's not being attacked. AMC is working on getting there. The writer's strike did not help us. It didn't. It hurt us badly. That's why where we're at. I know people hate Adam Aaron, whatever. I met Adam Aaron in person. Okay, it is what it is. I understand his job. I just let him do his job. I don't care what he has to say. Put the information in the filings, and I'll figure it out from there. That's what matters to me, right? As long as the information is flowing between the company to its shareholders, I'm good. I can make my own educated decisions, and that's what I try to do.
I'd agree with that, Lynn.
What did Lynn say?
Think of the market as nature. Short sellers aren't apex predators like cheetahs or crocodiles. Shorts are opportunistic like hyenas or turkey vultures. I don't even short. The company's already weak. Even apex predators do the same thing. They don't go after the gazelle that can run the fastest. They go pick off the fucking.
That's why in my videos, when I'm covering a new company, I have my little dashboard that I show you guys. And if the short interest is high, I flag that as a red item. Like, you should go freaking understand why the company you're about to invest in has high short interest. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, you got to buy it. This is a for sure short squeeze. And maybe it is a short squeeze. But if you get stuck, you better understand why it's being shorted. What is drawing those predators to that play? High short interest should be a red flag, and only when you fully understand what is going on in the financial statements do you then willingly step up to the plate and say, despite all that, I want to enter for a short squeeze. I know I have a reasonable amount of my portfolio put in. I didn't mortgage my house, sell my 401k. I'm not loading the bank. Limit your risk if you're going to go in that play, and have an exit plan if it doesn't work out. Because if it doesn't work out, you're going to get obliterated.
So here's another example, Tony. There was a comment way earlier in the live stream. Somebody asked if you'd pull up Vortex data and tell us what the short interest of AMC is. The reason I don't
even look at it right now. It's not over 20%. I don't care.
Exactly. And not only that, we're actively diluting. So you don't have an appropriate share count to begin with. So,
and the short interest is about to drop whenever they do update the share count. I don't care about if you're listening to someone that's talking to you every morning, hey guys, let's look at the short volume and here's the short interest. All they're doing is filling airtime, and they're keeping you entertained. They're not giving you any useful information.
And short volume is always misused. Like,
absolutely,
when you have market makers who they sell short to get those shares, to keep the liquidity, to keep things floating so that UI and everyone else can buy shares. They probably close that trade more than likely within 2 days under the T2 anyway. And that's 40% of most short volume, or if not more, depending on how fast it's trading. And so you get a situation where people just misinterpret the data because they're not reading it properly.
I've posted the freaking link explaining what short volume is so many times. I've had guests on that did a 1-hour talk on it. And no matter how much factual information you try and provide people, they say, oh, well, that information was provided by FINRA, therefore I don't believe it. Okay, well then good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. How's it worked out for the last 3 years? How did it work out believing ham about the short volume on GTII, Finger, and ZJYL? He's fucking lying to you.
Yeah.
He's misinterpreting data, whether out of ignorance or to take your money. I don't know.
Yeah. If me or anybody or Tony or Meteoric or anybody explains something to you and you decide that you want to disregard that information, I don't want to see that shocked Pikachu face when it turns out we were right.
It blows my fucking mind. Dude.
I never look, and I saw the GME people doing it now. Oh, guys, look at this. 80% short volume on GME, guys. This proves, it doesn't prove shit, except you don't know what you're talking about. You know how many plays I've watched while you're stuck focusing on GameStop for the last 3 years? You know how many dozens and dozens and dozens of tickers I've watched pumpers talk about short volume and watch them ride it all the way to bankruptcy? Doesn't mean shit. It's irrelevant.
I'll be blunt and honest with all of you. I don't give a shit about my YouTube channel or YouTube money or any of that shit. Don't follow me. I don't care. Tony, you know me. Do I give a shit?
I do on the spare time. If I end up making money, you know, that'd be awesome and cool, but I don't care. I'm just here to have fun and
I don't give
about
a shit
stuff that I'm interested in.
And let's be clear, we're talking short volume, daily short volume. That is a different metric than short interest. I am interested in short interest. If it's over 20%, I start getting interested.
Another metric that is horribly misused, days to cover.
Oh gosh.
Days to cover is a theoretical if all the shorts closed at one time, assuming average volume for the day, which are two very big if
First of all, you got to know the data provider that you're looking at. How many days are they counting for the volume? Yep. Like Fintel or Chart Exchange. If you read down into the notes, they'll say our days to cover measures volume over the last 5 days, for example.
Yeah.
So they're dividing the short interest by the volume over the last 5 days. But if the volume was really low, the days to cover is going to be high. I don't understand why the days to cover drop from 21 days to 5 days. Is this manipulation? Anyways, let me know down in the comments. You guys might know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, and of course, if you guys pump the stock, it's going to increase the volume. And
the volume changed, so days to cover change. It's just basic math.
Well, that's the other thing, Tony. People don't even understand the volume, for God's sakes. And I'm not picking on people. Believe me, I want them to understand.
I know.
God, just, you know.
Antric says Cinemark already went bankrupt. Let's not forget that. Cinemark, guys, has never gone bankrupt. Cineworld, which was Regal. Cinemark has always done just fine. You got to memorize this stuff. Make some flashcards. We're 3 years into the AMC play. You should know the competitors. Alamo Drafthouse went bankrupt. I think the only ones that didn't were AMC, Marcus, and Cinemark. Pretty much everybody else filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And only
so
by
the reason I wanted to pull up his comment is because I want people to understand that the market is forever changing. They may have went bankrupt at one time. They obviously didn't, but I'm just saying, even if they did, okay, it does not matter. They're not going bankrupt now. The market changes. You got to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, that's the whole point of bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is, yeah, sure, you may have some of these companies decide to close up, but bankruptcy is meant as a tool to give a company a new start. So say even if Cineworld went bankrupt, the whole objective of bankruptcy is to clear out the debt, give as equitable as a reimbursement as can be possibly given so the company can go forward and not constantly be with the burden of this thing, so it can go on and deliver value to its new shareholders. It can go on as a proper company, pay its employees, and continue to be a productive member of society as a working company. It's the same way as if you or I went bankrupt.
I see Diaz in the house, long time amigo. Magnetic resonance, what's going on?
I want to ask you guys a question.
I wanted to just throw this out there because I see it a lot
Mhm.
still, and I just want to give everybody a chance to answer this question again. CoreX, do you think AMC has an impending bankruptcy risk? Let's
At this
say
moment,
let's say in the next 3 months, because people are convinced that they're about to go bankrupt. In the next 3 months, in the next 12 months, in the next 2 years, give us your answer.
next 3 months, no. What was the next time period?
Next 12 months.
It real like once you get to that 12 months and 2 years, I tend to lean no, but I'm kind of in that in between on the 12 months, 2 years. I mean, you get out that far. I mean, anything's pretty much possible with most companies.
All right. Mediocre, what do you say?
I say the box office is coming back strong, right? As long as the box office is strong and we don't get no crazy shutdowns or something that affects AMC, bringing in its clients, I don't think we have an issue. As long as the box office comes back, because I think with this dilution we're going through right now, he has the money to get us to the end of the year when the box office comes back. I think the lenders said, look, we want money. We want our interest payments for the next 2 years, guaranteed. And then we'll kick the can down the road. That's my personal opinion of what's going to happen. But it's not fact. I don't know. I'm speculating.
Yeah. Hey, guys, if it's not clear, this is just a whole lot of entertainment. What does PP say? This is just opinion. We're not professionals. We just like talking about the stock.
Begs the question then, if it's just opinion, why do you care about someone else's opinion on your own investment?
I guess they like to hear us say an opinion so they can take us to court.
Hey, CoreX, you can't put a fucking mirror like that in their face. What the fuck? They don't want to look at themselves. They
That's
just
my
want to look
entire
at you.
channel. I have a fun house full of mirrors for them.
Yeah. Always, guys, you're listening to our opinions, but everything comes down to you doing your due diligence. We're just here having a beer. We could be drunk off our fucking gourds for all you know. Don't take fucking financial advice from us.
I am consuming alcohol right now, as you can tell. I'm pretty fired up.
But my opinion, much like mediocre, is look, as long as the lenders are willing to restructure the debt, which they have done under far worse circumstances over the last 3 years. So I see no reason why they would not do a restructuring going forward. As long as that happens,
so they'll try and figure something out if at all possible.
Everyone's incentivized to not file bankruptcy. There's not going to be any winners in a bankruptcy, despite what you hear in the flat earth hallways. No one wants a bankruptcy. So I think the short-term risk of bankruptcy, look, there's always risk when you're not profitable, but the company has 880 million. They're going to blow 250 in Q1. They're raising the 250 back. Short-term risk to me, as long as they get the debt restructured, which is not even due till 2026. I'll re-say it. As long as the lenders are willing to restructure the debt, the short-term risk of bankruptcy to me right now seems almost nil. In 1 year, in 2 years, I will say, depends on the box office when we get there. So my spreadsheet tells me that AMC will be break even, no more cash burn, at around 10.1 billion domestic box office. So in 2025, if we're over that number, then at least the bleeding stops. They're in the same category as a GameStop. They're not losing money anymore. But then you got another problem. You still got to deal with that debt. So then you hope the box office grows. But first problem is stop the bleeding.
Tony, you got to pull up Dana's comment.
If the box office is significantly above 10.1, then you start generating some extra cash to start knocking out that debt. And it's going to be a long, hard fight. But for me right now, the risk is very low, despite what the naysayers and the little cacklers on their space calls that don't even understand the compensation package. They're not paying attention to this stock. They just want it to fail. I don't listen to that nonsense. What Dana's comment, Dana, mediocre. Do you think the eclipse will affect the movies? This is a hot topic right now. Apparently, there's a lot of
Oh,
YouTubers saying
God.
the eclipse is going to affect the short squeeze, and everybody's going to be a millionaire.
Ooh, Tony. Ooh.
It's the catalyst you didn't know you need.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm on one tonight, Tony.
So
Come
is that
at
a
me.
no? Is that a no mediocre?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're all done. The end of the world.
I say we just start that morning on the 8th with an open bottle of whiskey and just play it by ear.
Yeah, fuck it.
Let's do it
We'll right in
live.
front of an AMC.
Corax, you down? Take the day off from work.
Is it
He's
going
not-
to
he's-
stop trading on the market?
We
too?
can't
Like-
hear you, Corax.
Oh yeah, I muted myself so you wouldn't hear that. But yeah, if the world's ending, I guess I'll just call into work. I want to watch it burn, guys.
Defund the Short says the eclipse is a Y2K wannabe.
I yeah.
Listen, you guys, Tony put out a freaking awesome video the other day. I got to tell you guys, it's a great video. You guys got to go watch his video on the flat earther thing and pause it on his files. And
I can bring the file up.
bring it up.
My
Bring it
directory.
up. I love
Did
it.
you watch that video, Corax?
No, I haven't.
My dilution update from the flat Earth group,
Oh boy.
because we got called flat earthers for sharing some DD with the community.
a spreadsheet that we worked together that basically doesn't prove it, but it gives you a picture that we can sell all the shares right before earnings and he can have it done.
Can't really
Based off of
increase.
volume.
I don't want to increase the font size, but I'll put it up here on the screen so you can see the file names. Can
I
y'all read
love it.
that?
Nope.
I can't now.
Oh, well, shit. Go watch the video. The font
Yeah, I
size is
definitely
like
will.
10 times bigger.
Yeah.
This was a humor bit that I did for you guys, and nobody's fucking getting the joke.
Yeah.
My
Because
favorite file here of Corax is private equity, the plan to bankrupt brick and mortar. We got
private equity.
we got Adam Aaron ballerina photos. What else we got on here?
I
The
know where that reference comes from.
Pflugerville water test results.
we got Y2K was on there, which is why I
Y2K.
brought it up again, because somebody talks about Y2K.
There's a couple funny ones. Everybody, there's something for everybody. So
Excellent.
go check that out.
So, Tony, you've been trading any marijuana stocks? Any of these?
I
weed
have not.
plays?
So I get asked about those a lot, and I spent the better part of last weekend going through a lot of the financial statements, even talking with a CPA to make sure I wasn't crazy. And I couldn't find a single one that I liked. But
Same.
I also can't ignore that the momentum and the news is driving these stocks up. So what I said on my live stream the other day, I'm not going to make a video pushing marijuana stocks, because you don't need me to tell you the momentum's been there. And I'm not going to pump stocks that are a wreck financially. So if you want to play the momentum, you got my blessing to play the momentum. We know there's Germany news. Someone pointed out to me later that there's also potential news of Canada reducing the taxes, which this is all good stuff. Maybe they'll have a second run, but
Yeah.
tell me what you've been doing. I haven't been playing them.
I wasn't earlier until I heard from a friend of mine that he had a position in Aurora Cannabis and it took off. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. It went up 40 some odd % and then went up another like 10. And I looked at that and I did some research on a bunch of them trying to find, if any of these were good, and they all are just money burners.
Yep.
They're all bad. So I found a fistful of them on this rally, because the theory going through my head is, yeah, sure, it's good news that Germany legalized marijuana, but all these companies are in Canada. What impact does Germany have
Because
on any of
some
these
of them
plays?
have medicinal operations in Germany,
Okay.
but they
Okay.
don't have, they're not in recreational
Mhm.
yet.
Clorox, I think the bulk of the run was because our vice president said that she, her and the Democrats were going to try to make weed federally legal.
Well, they've
I
been saying
don't
that for the past 4 years.
Here's what I'll tell you
exactly.
guys from 3 years of studying, I don't know, 100 short squeeze plays or just retail FOMO plays. And I don't know that that's what's going to happen with ACB or any of these,
Mhm.
but they all have a very typical pattern where they have a massive run up. That's when you want to be in. And then
Yeah.
they have a pullback, and what I call a mini bump, a second little attempt, and then they
Mhm.
just evaporate. They
And
evaporate.
that's what I saw. I was too late to get in on the rally, so I said, "Well, fine. I got a margin account. Here's 4 of them that looked the shittiest and had the highest rallies. I'll short all 4 of them." And I still am holding short ACB. I'll just disclose that right away since we got it up there on the screen. And I'm also short still Sundial. The other 2, I already closed those positions and got Fidelity banging at my door going, "Hey, be careful about pattern day trader over there, buddy."
This is still a very dangerous short, right?
Oh
Because
yeah, definitely,
the
because it could
retail
rally up
sentiment
on
on
me.
this, I don't short stocks, by the way, guys, just so
Mhm.
we're clear. Never in my life have I shorted a stock.
Yeah, neither do I.
But if I was trying to short something like this, I'd be pretty fucking nervous when you see the social media momentum
Yeah,
on
and
this. And I've watched
that's why my
shorters.
position size are real small. Like as a portion of my portfolio, it's really small, and I have very tight stop losses that if it rallies hard on me, I'm gone.
I have watched
86 and out
shorting
the door.
channels on YouTube lose $700,000
Yeah.
in an hour.
I will say it's with the way federal funds rate is right now, it's made it a lot more enticing to me because some of these, their short interest is really low. Like I want to say Aurora Cannabis last I saw. Let me look on my computer here. AC, where is it? Because I have a list. Yeah, ACB, its short interest is 7. So that's a little higher, but some of them they were sub 5%. So what I've been noticing and I've been looking at for possible targeting is some of these companies that still have a cost to borrow under 5%, under the federal funds rate. So when you get the cash back from the short position, it sits there in your brokerage account and it's treated like normal cash in your brokerage account, which means that you can it's money marketed. So your broker will take that money and go and try and get you yield with that. And if it's below the cost, if it's below 5%, that means I'm getting more back on the yield from the money market than I'm paying in the cost to borrow. So I'm basically shorting for free and getting a little yield back.
But with that low short interest, these aren't even really short squeezes. They're just FOMO
No,
plays.
no, yeah, that's all it is for me is just
So all
going
I'm
in
going
and
to
getting
say,
out.
guys, play them to your heart's content, but
Mhm.
have some protection on the downside.
Yes.
Take some fucking profits on the upside. And God bless you and good luck. I'm not in the plays. I don't plan to
Yeah.
get in them. I have enough speculative trades right now in play, and I'm looking for more value plays, blue chip, profitable companies. And as I find them, I'll make videos on them, even though no one fucking watches them. They're boring.
I watch them.
It's boring. It's boring if you only make 40% in 4 months. I get it.
I don't know. That sounds pretty good to me.
I know, but every one that I've done has run up, and they're very safe plays.
Yeah, because even if you think that there's still a recession coming, those are the companies that are going to stick around. They're going to survive it. That are going to accrue value to shareholders, even if the market goes tits up.
Show us, Tony, what other plays you're in. I've fucking showed you. Go watch my videos, dipshit. I hear these people on YouTube. Oh, tell us what other stocks you're in. I do. I do. You just don't
Saw
watch them.
someone was I saw someone mention Palantir time to go long. You won't want to hear my opinion on that then.
I haven't looked at Palantir recently, but it's
Palantir
often,
is a good company. It's just
yeah.
people have pumped it up to an insane valuation,
Hey,
way
let's pull up
beyond
the chart
value.
because I have some TA on Palantir, and
Actually,
Okay.
I like Palantir, but I haven't looked at the stock price in a while. But
I
it's
haven't
something
either.
that I
Let's
wanted
pull it
to
up
see
and
At
see
about,
where.
I want to say just at the top side of the 22 handle. Yep, 2296.
This is, I have my line where I'd like to buy Palantir, and it's way down here.
Yep. I'm expecting it to retrace back to where it was before
Oh,
earnings,
wait.
down at 16.
So I need to redo my fib.
Yeah. 'cause it's
So I
moved.
probably owe you guys a Palantir video because this is out of date. I need to draw it all the way up to here. We'll do that this weekend. I am curious. I like Palantir. I've covered it, but it's always been too high for me to jump back in.
Yeah.
Aren't they a data company for the military or something like that?
They do AI data collection and
that's what I
correlation and
thought.
all that stuff.
It's been a great trade if you're in it. I wasn't in it down here. I can't remember now. It's been so long if I was in Palantir for a while or not, but I haven't been in it anytime recently. I've not been in it for this run up, and I was waiting for a pullback to at least like $14, and it never happened. So great for everybody that's in it. I
Did
love
that
it.
second big leg up there is when I got into my short position that I've already closed. Every time it got up there to 24 and 25, I was adding to the position, and then it finally just collapsed, and I closed it for a nice little tidy profit. But my problem with it is just the multiples. It's way, way outside of bounds. It's trading at a price to sales of like 20. That's
PE of
ridiculous.
68. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I need to go do some DD on it this weekend. Maybe I can drop a quick update on my thoughts on Palantir, but I don't hate Palantir. I'm just very, what do we say, Anya? I'm a bottom feeder. I want to get in on a risk-free entry if I can.
Yeah. Like, I don't hate Palantir. It's one of those companies that I don't hate it. I just hate where people have pushed it up to. And if it went back down to somewhere around where it was before that earnings push back around 16, then I'd be interested as a long. But up here in the 20s, no.
Anya says, weren't you in Palantir about 17? Anya is in my VIP group, so she knows I post all my trades in the VIP channel. So Anya, I can't remember every trade I made, but if you remember that I was in about 17, I believe you. Thank you.
Anya, you know me. I like the value entries. You know what I'm saying? We like
Anya, can you tell the
low.
folks, Anya, because you see all my trades, can you tell the folks if the ones who think that I lie about all my trades, what's my general record? Would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Yeah, while you're waiting on that, like what you're talking about, meteoric value plays, that's the other reason I keep a tidy short list, because if you follow some of these, you may get a reversal where it's like, hey, this thing I thought was junk, it's not junk anymore. Maybe I should go long it. And sometimes you're in ahead of everyone else because you've been looking at it longer than everyone else. So when it makes that flip, you can get in at a really favorable price. I just got done doing some spring cleaning on that list, and I moved some of those over onto my long side to be like, this might get interesting here in a bit if it keeps going along like it is. So
Anya says you make money on about 99% of your trades. I don't think that it's quite as high as 99%, Anya, but I do pretty well. Now, I'm not out there flipping trades 20 times a day like a lot of the stock pumpers. I'm very particular about the trades that I take.
I flip pennies, Tony. You know that.
I know. You and I have different trading styles, and that's fine.
I used to try to do that with the wheel, and then I got tired of trying to pick up pennies in front of a steamroller. You get steamrollered once, and then you learn your lesson. You get a lot more conservative.
Tony asked me one day, he goes, did you just buy and sell that for like 10 or 15 cents? I'm like, God damn right I did.
But that's because like you're buying very risky stocks and you're like fucking loading a ton of money into them. And I'm very averse to putting a large percentage of my account in a speculative trade.
I know.
So that's
I
the
know.
difference in our style, right? I cover
Right.
speculative stocks, including AMC, but I'm not mortgaging my life on AMC. I'm putting a reasonable amount in it. And I got paid bank in May, early June of 2021, even on a small amount, because I entered on a smart trade and I took the profits on the call options that I had. But
I do have a substantially large position in AMC. That is true.
You trade different than me, Mediocre, and that's what I like about you, because we analyze plays differently. I mean, we analyze plays much the same, but you're more of a degenerate gambler than I am.
Degenerate gambler. Listen, I don't think I gamble at all. I just play the momentum.
You do very well for yourself. I just can't. I can't.
You don't have to do what I do. I get it. And nobody has to do what I do, right? I do what I do. I'm comfortable doing what I do.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of these times I'm going to have to do a video on like how to read the news, because there was a lot of good news things this week that were real interesting that moved prices. We already talked about like Trump media, but there was like AT&T, that one that came late Sunday evening where they had a data breach and people dumped it early Monday. And I made some good profit off the calls when it swung back the other way. I tried to do the same thing with Intel because I thought it was the same sort of story where they broke off their foundry expenses so people could actually follow that. And people dumped it when they showed they had like billions in losses or something like that. And I'm like, guys, we knew it. They're still building that out. Of course, it's going to be more expenses than anything. So I thought that was junk news, and I got burned on those calls. So, you got to be careful still, even when you think the news is being misinterpreted. Sometimes the market just doesn't care. It's going to keep going down.
Doug says Palantir is not going to 16, 22 to 26 next earning release. I hope so, Doug. I'd love to see you guys make money. And the thing that kills me the most about wasting my time chasing down all this nonsense, the no voter nut jobs, the clickbait dipshits on YouTube, putting out all this misinformation. Doc Zeno said, Tony, I can't imagine how much money you've lost dealing with all this bullshit. It lost in terms of opportunity cost. Like sometimes my day gets sucked up just dealing with smacking down clickbait and misinformation when I should be researching Palantir and reading their filings, because I'll spend a day doing it and becoming an expert on it. I hope so, Doug, and I'm going to try and do that this weekend. And I got a lot of catching up videos to do for you guys on the EV trades too, because a lot of those fucking EV companies are melting into the dirt too.
Yeah. That one comment by Rocky, I think you guys would be more apt to answer that question. And I would just go to the point that I don't really think that AMC is an acquisition target. I think GameStop maybe, because they don't have as much going on their balance sheet like AMC does with all that debt. You look at the enterprise value of AMC and it's kind of bad, but that's kind of the thing that I look for when I'm looking for value plays. These companies that are kind of mid to small cap, that they've gotten pumped up on big news and then they crash back down past fair value. And I've gotten a couple of them that ended up getting acquired, and I made a pretty good gain on them. One of the favorite ones I love to talk about was Terrian Insurance Group, TIG. It got acquired and I bought it around $3 and it sold. They bought it for $6 a share. So that was a nice little tidy pickup. But I think AMC is just too big with too much on their balance sheet.
Clorax, are you telling me that you buy equities, that you don't only short them?
Yeah.
I thought you were just
You actually buy stuff and sell it for a profit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go long?
Hell's going on here?
I heard you were a confirmed bear.
Yeah, I hear that I've acquired the perma bear label, but no, I just pick my spots. like I have an Excel spreadsheet that like I go through sometimes 50 companies before I find one that I like and I get into. You know, I mentioned Kirk earlier. It's like my list of companies that I want to make sure they're sure things. So of course I'm not going to have this big old long list of things that I'm super excited about.
That's why same with me. I'm very particular about what I'm going to invest in. And the speculative ones that I talk about a lot, it's just because the information is changing so quickly, but it doesn't mean that I have the bulk of my portfolio invested in that stock. Does that make sense, Corex?
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny, like the solid plays, the boring ones, the value plays, the Disneys, you know, all of those. There's not a lot of misinformation out there on them. There's not a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. It's all the speculative ones, which I've already told you guys, I don't overload my portfolio with speculative trades, but they're ripe for YouTube content because there's so much misinformation, bad information, and clickbait that I just end up making a lot of videos about it. I cover the stock. Doesn't mean that I'm heavily invested in it. I might be invested in it. I might not. Just depends on how bad somebody pisses me off.
I'm still doing research there, Doug. But I would say that I'm a little bit in it, but I'm not going to get too far into it until I see what Q1 is reporting for it. But I'm definitely bullish on Kirkland's.
Anya says, I think it was Maggie from Maine that was in Palantir. Maggie was very into Palantir. And I heard from her, Anya, in the comments the other day. Maggie, I wish, she said, Tony, where you been? Where you been, Tony? I still been here, Maggie, every day, all day in Discord. And you're a member of the channel, a longtime member of the channel. And thank you. Join the freaking Discord. It's free. It's free.
People, join the Discord. If you're a member of Tony's channel, jump into Discord. You know, jump into voice chat. It's way easier to discuss the stuff in voice chat than it ever is.
I'm here every fucking day during market hours, available to you in the voice chat. If you got a badge next to your name because you're paying the 16 cents a day, you have free access to the Discord. Your $5 a month goes to support all the tools I use, which cost me many, many hundreds of dollars to provide you guys the fact-based info and the research, not to mention the 4, 8, 12 hours a day I do looking shit up. Mediocre, am I lying about how much time I do research and stuff? You talk to me every day.
I wasn't paying attention to you talking because I was reading Gus.
I said, how much time do I do on a daily basis researching stuff?
Well, that's what I was going to say before you started that whole other rant. I can.
Yes, Doug, Kirk, Kirk.
It's nonstop, constant due diligence, right? He's constantly looking at shit. Like, we talk stocks all day long. It's ridiculous the amount of stock we talk.
And you guys can join in that conversation. It's not an exclusive club. We want you in the talk. We want to help you. We're not handing out the next little spicy penny stock of the day. We're actually doing the real work to help you get into a safe trade and make money. And we're not pushing trades. I always try and present the good and the bad of every trade, so you can make your own choice.
And same here. I appreciate every single one of my members, and that thank you for helping with my pacer addiction. You pay my pacer bills.
It's expensive. It's expensive, right?
Yeah.
Forex to pay for Restream, Dilution Tracker. Some people pay for Fintel. Some people pay for Ortex. The various subscriptions to news services. It all adds up. None of them are less usually than $75 a month. So imagine you got 10 of those you're paying for. Yep. And I don't need all those for me. I do that for you guys. That's where your $5 a month goes.
Yeah, Tony, it's like that video I posted on Twitter. I forget what it was about. AMC and information, the flow of information, and how meme stocks, the people don't pay attention to the information. Remember, I put that video out. It wasn't my video. I shared a video for the record, right? but the video was talking about information. And the problem is information is extremely important. If you don't have the information, you're kind of trading blind and you're kind of at the mercy of the market, right?
Information is expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah. No one does work for free. There is no free lunch.
You know?
All right, let's pivot real quick. Sufyan, I keep on, you're wanting me to talk about other YouTubers. I don't really do that here. This is not a drama channel.
I'm sorry I went on a rant.
We went on a little rant on our friend in Pflugerville, who I still love to death. I don't know why he blocked me, but I don't do the whole drama thing. I don't talk about other YouTubers on this channel. And I'm happy to have any of them on at any time, except for the fact that most of them have exposed themselves as not able to have adult conversation. They lie, they insult, and I just don't have time for people like that in my life.
Yeah, because the time you should be spending should be making money while you can. That's why we're all here.
I'm here to spend time with people that want to be positive and learn and make money. And if you're spending your channel ranting on other people, lying about them, and denigrating them, insulting them, I just don't have time for that nonsense. I don't.
Since we're back on this real quick, the reason for my rant was mainly to tell everybody, the world, it's none of your business what I do with my money. That's it. That's the only reason why I went on that whole rant. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't buy and sell AMC or what I do, because I don't care what you think. That's all.
I wanted to touch before it got too late on the AMC proxy statement, which came out today after the market closed. And it is available for free on the AMC Investor Relations website or SEC Edgar. It's the Schedule 14A. Remember, we just had a vote on AMC at the end of last year, late part of the year. I forget what day. There's another one coming up. Excuse me, June 5th, and the filing got released today. Surprise, surprise, everything that is on here is what was on the last vote, as far as I can tell. I just sped read the proposals because I went down and I really wanted to spend some time reading the 34 pages of compensation, because that's where all your next 3 months, your next 12 months of misinformation, your fucking lies about this company are going to come from the compensation, like they have been lying to you for the last 2 years. They were honest about 2021. Adam Aaron and everybody, they made bank in 2021. Let's call a spade a spade. But 2022 and 2023, they did not. So I'm focusing more of my time on compensation, but let's talk about these proposals here real quick, and then I'll let Korax try and chop my head off on compensation, since he was hanging out in the dungeon with the trolls on the compensation space calls earlier. The damn liars, Korax. How dare you associate with people like that? I'm just teasing. All right. They're going to, they want to, again, try and declassify the board of directors. All right. Remember, everything that's on here, you guys already voted on 6 months ago, and everybody said no. All the no voters told you, don't vote for any of these, but you all want to kick the board out, right? You want to kick the board out, but you shot yourself in the foot last year because you voted no on all these. So I don't care how you vote. I'm not defending the company. I'm just going to explain to you what is on here, and you can decide. I never give you voting instructions. If you approve number 1, you are declassifying the board, and right now they're classified. So 2 of them come up for a vote every year. If you declassify, you could kick them all out in 1 year. Is that what you want?
Switching from what we do with senators, where they're elected on a rolling period, to what we do in the
they're
House
on a rolling basis. So if you want the chance to kick them all, I don't care. But if you want the chance to kick them all out in 1 year, you should probably think about voting for number 1, because that will declassify the board. If number 1 is approved, then you get the chance to vote on all of them at the same fucking time. Is that what you want? Do you want to vote all of them out, then maybe consider passing number one. I honestly, I'm going to keep on saying this. I don't care. I'm just saying, I see people, hi, this is Uncle Frank. I've got a petition. Thank you for the 399 of you who signed up on it. I want to kick out the board. Well, Uncle Frank, you can't, because you told them all to vote no last year. Uncle Frank, you shot your own self in the foot. Read the fucking filings, guys. Anyways, if you vote on number one, no, then you can then vote on 2A, where you can elect or not elect the entire board. If you don't approve number one, then you'll only be able to vote on Philip Lauder, Gary Locke, and Adam Sussman. All right, I was wrong. 3 of them. All right, is that clear? Corax, did I explain
Sounds
that?
good.
You can vote on all of them, or you can vote on 3 of them, depending on what you decide on number one. And again, I don't care what you do. Doesn't fucking matter to me. Or Tony Denaro, we need to sue him for telling us how to vote.
Tony,
Fuck
do
off,
I
you
care?
hosers.
Tell him if I care, Tony. Tell him.
I'm
You
already
don't
reading
give
ahead,
two
and I
shits.
like some of these other proposals down the line here.
You like them? You
Well,
like
I mean,
them?
it sounds like they're trying to democratize the company a bit
Well,
more.
it sounds like you're paid by AMC to push a narrative.
I am told by some of these people that because I live in Kansas, apparently Kansas is just an open air AMC headquarters.
Open air.
Everyone in
logged
Kansas
into
works for Adam Aaron.
Are you logged into the mesh Wi-Fi of AMC right now?
Oh my God. I fucking love it.
All right.
I personally don't give a shit what's on here. I will read it, but
I'm going to go through it real quick because that's how little I care about it. But I'm just going to say 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, guys. These are very common things that are found on many other companies. And there are institutional investors pushing AMC to have these on here. Okay. You can look up the words on Google and verify what I'm saying. I don't care how you vote, but there are institutions and what's the word? Corex, people that advocate for something, activist investors
Yes,
that are pushing. There are
That's being
activist
enforced.
investors pushing AMC to put these on here to eliminate the prohibition against stockholders acting by written consent, to remove the limitation on stockholders' abilities to call special meetings, and to expand the exculpation provision to limit the liability of certain officers. You can vote for them or not for them. I don't care. You voted against them last year. Nothing fucking changed. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Number 6 says to ratify the appointment of Ernst & Young. I don't care. Do it or not. They're going to, it's probably an advisory vote anyways. Number 7.
Isn't that the audit company, Tony?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't vote for their CPA, they'll just find a different one. Doesn't matter. Number 7, to conduct a non-binding advisory vote to improve the compensation. You can approve or not approve their compensation. I don't care. And neither do they, because your vote doesn't matter. It's just a non-binding advisory vote. You can send a message. I have been voting against it, to be honest, every year. I've been voting against it. That might surprise some of y'all. But I think they were heavily compensated in 2021, and I'd like to see a little more effort to get the company profitable. So do whatever you want. Number 8, to approve our equity incentive plan. I think the equity incentive plan is aligns the executives with shareholders, and we're going to talk about that next. So we'll just say, do whatever you want. I don't care. But we're going to dig into number 8. And number 9, to approve one or more adjournments of the meeting if necessary to permit further solicitation of proxies. All right. So if they don't get enough votes, they might adjourn the meeting. I don't really think that's ever been a problem with AMC, has it?
I doubt it.
All right. Anybody have questions on any of these? Here's your moment. Here's your moment. Get your shots in. Get your questions. Call me a shill. Call me paid by a hedge fund. Call me paid by Adam Aaron. I've been called it all, you guys. Get your shot in right now.
Tony, you know why I don't care?
Why?
Because I met Adam Aaron in person.
Did you look in his eyes and get a bad feeling?
Did you read his aura?
He fucking looked at me and he said, "Nope, we ain't doing this." Basically, is what I've realized now.
We ain't doing what?
You got to remember, I went prepared for a conversation with the man with cue cards and the fucking camera, bro. He did not want to do a full-on interview with me.
Did you have the whole gimbal and everything, like the full body
Everything.
gimbal?
Yes.
Get all face, get up, and just zoom in on
Adam,
his face.
Adam, what's your thoughts on this question?
He said, "I'll answer some questions for you, but we ain't doing that shit like that."
This man
He's
this man
been
came prepared.
Michael Moore ambushed several times. I think he's been pretty self-aware of that now.
Well, they protected him too. They knew, right? It was before the whole ape conversion bullshit. So, you know, listen. Every company does it, okay? They put it in the filings because they know fucking people don't read them. I'm just going to say it for what it is, right? You guys call it market corruption. No, you just didn't read the fucking filing.
Yeah.
You didn't read it. It was there. Everything was fucking in the filings and in the court documents. It was all there, black and white. You lose. Good day, sir.
Correct.
Okay.
Is this from your channel? Wadley wants to know, is it Tony a scammer and grifter?
I don't think so.
No, that's probably from
I
my
may
channel.
disagree with him on some things, but I see it came from Twitter, so I don't know who exactly.
Oh, from Twitter. All right. Wadley,
See
how in what way am I a scammer and grifter? That's really the question. I mean, Mediocre talks to me every day. I've got 100 people in my Discord that hear my thoughts on a daily basis. Corax hates grifters and scammers, and he's on here. I bring him in here to keep me honest. In what way am I a scammer and grifter?
Tony,
because I cover a stock that you don't like, or I say something you don't like about a stock that you do like. Come on, man.
I mean, Tony, if he said you were an asshole, I'd have to agree with him.
Look,
I am very blunt. I'm very upfront.
On that note, everyone loves the smell of their own asshole and their own shit. So I say everyone's an asshole to a certain extent.
Gus says, point out a lie. Yeah, say a lie that Wadley says that's all I've heard. Yeah. Wadley, there are people that lie about me on a daily basis. Welcome to my life. The first week that I started, I was telling Mediocre this story earlier. I think Sufyan asked the question, Tony, how do you deal with all the trolls? I was like, Sufyan, in July of 2021, after AMC had already squeezed and all of y'all had invested your life savings, I decided to come on YouTube and correct a lot of the clickbait. That was my origin of my channel. And those videos are still up. You can go find them. And some guy got really mad at me that I was calling out Thomas James and Donahue George. And they're like, oh, old guy with the camera. You think you're really special, huh? I was like, wow, welcome to the YouTube community. Baptism by fire. And it's only gotten worse since then. I've been called every name in the book.
Tony,
I got death threats. I got people that want to sue me. Bring it on, bitches.
Who's the most hated YouTuber in the AMC community?
Tony Denaro is the most hated YouTuber in the fucking universe. Because
you've made it when you've when like me and Tony, you've gotten a threat from Ethan that he's going to sue you.
They can't argue with my due diligence, so they resort to personal attacks. Like that dipshit that covers GameStop. Oh, he's got a fake wife. Oh, he's a homosexual. Do you know how weak that argument makes you? It just makes you look like a child.
Well, that's all he's got. All he's got's insults is because he can't talk about the facts.
Because he's falling apart on his investment, and he's been wrong on everything for 3 years. And nothing that I've said on his stock has been incorrect. And I'm making money on his stock while he's losing his ass. So he resorts to these petty little personal attacks. You're pumping Bed Bath & Beyond. Show me where I pumped it. You're pumping Highcroft. Show me.
See, Gus knows you, Tony. Gus got a good comment. Gus knows you. See that?
Yeah,
Look,
I love.
as far
We've
as that
embraced the
channel's
cowboy clown here. We love it. I dress up as the clown when we do the Discord training. I wear a full clown outfit.
As
I
far as
fucking love
that
dude.
channel, pretty soon they're gonna have to put an exclusion zone around his YouTube channel, like Chernobyl, because of the meltdown.
Listen, I got to be honest. Like, comedy is one of my favorite things, right? Like, so, like when somebody says dumb shit like Tony's a cowboy clown and shit like that, oh, I love it. So I call Tony the clown cowboy every fucking day.
I call myself it every day. It's
I
hilarious.
love it.
If that's all you've got is an insult for me, then you've already lost. Show me where my due diligence was wrong. I might respect you. If all you've got is an insult, then you're a clown yourself.
I mean, if you the truth is we all have money in this game, including the people who are name calling and this, that, and the other thing. Okay, that's all fine. All right, but do your own due diligence to prove what we're saying is wrong or not correct. Okay, I will 100% talk to anybody. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
We will respect you, engage with you, and have a discussion. And we might still leave it friends if you can talk due diligence.
I agree. I'm sure I'd like to see Tony talk with Doug and Matt, and I'd like to talk with Doug. I want to know how that clown Al from Boston got an interview with Doug, and I can't even get a hold of him to do something.
A couple people have asked me what's going on with Doug Sifu. So I've never talked to Doug Sifu.
Mm-hmm.
He
know who he is.
I want to know, just like you guys, more information about what was that phrase that everybody's always talking about on Twitter? The
liquidity fairies bullshit.
No, on their balance sheet, sold
yeah,
but not
I
yet,
know that one,
sold
yeah.
but not yet, repurchased.
Yep.
I want to know more details on that because I'm not an expert on bank financial statements.
Mm-hmm.
And since Doug seemed willing to engage, I reached out to him on Twitter and I said, hey, would you be willing to do an interview? And he put me in touch with his investor relations guy. And about a week later, I had a Zoom call with that guy, a very nice gentleman. And he vetted me. So I have been vetted, mediocre. Some people say I've never been vetted. But he vetted me and made sure I wasn't a kook and that I actually know a little bit about finance.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, all right, let me get with Doug and see if we can move forward. And he said, if I don't get back with you, then reach back out to me. And I never did hear back from him, and I have not reached out from him. Doug's gone a little bit sideways on his whole Israel-Palestine thing, and I don't know that I want to jump in that mire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if you guys don't talk about it, you're going to get the clowns coming into.
Yeah. So I'm very interested in talking to Doug about the balance sheet stuff, but I don't really understand where he's going with the whole politics stuff. And I don't know. I don't even know if I want to talk to him now. Like, I don't like dealing with drama. I just don't.
Yeah.
So Doug, or whatever the gentleman's name was from investor relations, I'm still interested, but you need to reel your boy back a little bit because he's going off the rails. Like, why don't you focus on running your company? Why are you on Twitter talking about politics?
I think he's like me. He likes stirring the shit pot on Twitter.
I don't know. But so that's where we're at. I mean, maybe one day the whole Virtu thing will happen, but I'm a little bit turned off on the whole thing. And for me, it's just, I'd like to learn more. And if I learn more, I will share it with you guys, but we're not all the way there yet.
I don't know a lot of YouTubers because I don't really watch YouTubers. Like, I don't get trading advice on
most
YouTube.
of the YouTube stuff that I watch is mostly non-financial stuff, but like
I feel bad because like a lot of the good YouTubers in finance that I used to watch before I started doing YouTube, I don't have time to watch them anymore because I'm watching all the fucking other clowns. and busy correcting their nonsense.
Yeah, people like Plain Bagel. I like him because
Yeah, he's a good dude. I've talked to him. He's a good dude.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Get me an autograph next time.
I hope to do a collab with him sometime.
That'd be really awesome.
So let's talk about the AMC compensation, page 40 on the 14 on the what fucking file am I looking at here? 14A. It's page 40 through page 70 something. It's 30 something pages, you guys. And I've read this every year, multiple times. It's difficult information. I'm not going to lie, even for me.
What really helps me that I like doing is I have one of those programs in my browser that reads it back to me text to speech. So I can you start reading some of these filings and you go to sleep. But this is all
tables. It's all tables.
Oh.
And even worse than that, in the last 12 months, we've had a reverse split and an AMC ape conversion.
So all the tables are all sorts of crazy.
Yeah, there's all sorts of footnotes on every table. So I'm not gonna lie. This is some heavy shit. If you're a comp expert, if your job is a compensation attorney or a comp accountant, please reach out to me. I love talking to people that are smarter than me.
Yeah.
I've read the compensation every year. This is the most difficult one of them all. But I narrowed it down to a couple things. And still, I want you guys to go read it because I hear a lot of basic lies. Let's get a couple things out of the way. There's compensation and there's salary. If you tell me Adam Aaron's salary is $25 million, I'm already going to call you a clown. And Corax, I heard your friend saying that on the fucking X call today. If she doesn't know the difference between a salary and compensation, she should not be hosting an X call.
Yeah, I tried to ask her some questions on that, but I ended up leaving early because
She's so giddy. She's so giddy to spread bad news that she can't even get the basic facts right. The basic terminology. Adam Aaron's salary is $1.5 million. He has a cash bonus on top of that. And again, I'm not defending anything, just explaining to you what is in here, okay? Salary, $1.5 million. There's a cash bonus on top of that. And the bulk of all of the executives' awards are the restricted stock units and the RSUs and the PSUs. So that's what we're going to talk about. Very high level. We're not going to go through 35 pages. But I want to talk about a couple things. Salary is guaranteed. Bonus is almost guaranteed. RSUs and PSUs are not guaranteed. So when you see someone put out an article that says they got a $25 million payday, nothing here is guaranteed except salary and bonus. Okay? The bonuses are based on meeting certain goals set by the board of directors, compensation committee, and an independent compensation consulting firm after comparing to 20 or 30 other companies. They set their compensation package. So if you're not happy with how they're being compensated, don't fucking waste my time asking me what I think. What I think is irrelevant. Complain to the board, guys. Why are you asking me?
But Tony,
because you want to trap me in an answer and then say I'm defending them? Fuck off.
Now, maybe it's in this 10K somewhere, but I know the one thing that I was trying to get an answer to was they had to market according to SEC rules. Do you know?
Yeah, we're going to get to that? I heard all of that.
Okay, I didn't know if you were.
We're going to get to three things that were misstated on your little giddy little girl X call.
Oh boy, we're on fire tonight, Tony.
Number one, she didn't know what a salary was. Number two, she was talking about that they have to have X number of shares, X number of their base salary held in shares, right? Remember that, Corex?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. They have 5 years, Corex, just so you
Mhm.
know.
They
5
have to hold
years
them
to
for
get
5
in
years?
compliance.
Oh,
And
to get
she
in
does
compliance, okay.
she doesn't know that. So she shouldn't be talking about it. Am I out of line here to say if you don't
No.
know that basic fact, you shouldn't be throwing someone under the bus?
I think people should read the fucking filings, Tony.
Exactly.
I mean, all the
And
information's there. You know why I
everything that
say,
I'm going to
Tony?
tell you is in here. Now, the 5 years started a year or two ago, but this fucking dipshit's talking about GameStop. Sean Goodman doesn't own 5 times his salary. Yeah, he's got 5 years, dipshit. He's got 5 years to get in compliance. But that's evidence he's leaving tomorrow. No, it's evidence you don't read the fucking filings, just like you don't know what goodwill is. But anyways, I digress. That's 2 things out of the way. Salary, the X number of their salary versus how many shares they need to hold. Another common thing that I see people talk about in the compensation is, oh, Adam Aaron's definitely making money shorting his shares. Come on, guys. Are you that dense? Are you that much of a flat earth nut job that you think a company would allow their executives to short their own stocks? Yes, you are actually that much of a conspiracy nut job, because I
Legally,
read your
they
fucking
can't,
comments.
right? They can't even hold puts to secure the downside risk, right? That's technically
There
illegal.
is somewhere in here an anti-hedging policy. I'm trying to here right here. Under our inciting trader policy, directors and officers are prohibited from engaging in short sales or investing in any kind of hedging transaction or instruments, including puts, calls, prepaid variable forward contracts, equity swaps, collars, and exchange funds that are designed to offset any decrease in the market value of the company's securities. So
All right,
keep
so it's
on saying
company
your
policy, not that it's illegal. That's the clarification I needed.
right. It's company policy, and it's been there for a long fucking time. So I'm tired of seeing your fucking nut job nonsense. I bet he's doing it because you don't know how to fucking read. That's why you're losing money in this play, because you don't know how to fucking read.
And not trying, and I know we're
Not
being
trying to
harsh.
be mean. I know it sounds tough. I'm a little bit gruff. I'm a little bit direct, but it's nobody's fault except your own for not reading, for not knowing this stuff.
Yep.
All right. We got 3 things out of the way. Now, the other thing is Mr. Goodman's about to leave. The board wants these fuckers here. You can read this stuff yourself. They talk about how important Adam Aaron and Sean Goodman are to the company. In fact, they doubled Sean Goodman's retention bonus to convince him to stay, to make sure he stays. The board is very happy with the executive's performance. So if you're not happy that they're being paid a lot, the board is. And if you got a problem with it, take it up with the board. They're the ones that set the bonuses.
Heck, you got a vote coming up where you could vote Proposition 1 and then vote 2A, wasn't it? And then clean them all out.
You could, absolutely. And I don't
Laura,
care.
can I
I
ask
don't
you a
care if you
question?
do. The other thing towards the end of this list, where it kind of sums it all up, did Adam Aaron get paid 25? Oh, here's where we talk about the 5 years, I think. There's the clawback policy, the executive ownerships. On November 2021 was when they adopted the okay, here's the 5 years. So you know that I'm not lying to you. Each covered officer is required to achieve the applicable ownership guideline within 5 years after adoption of the guidelines. Little girl, why don't you learn to fucking read? November 2026 is when they got to be in compliance. And that goes to my GameStop buddy too. Sean Goodman's not in compliance. Yeah, because he has till 2026 to be in compliance. Learn to fucking read. You say you're a master at DD. You don't do DD shit.
Oh, but he's connecting all the dots, don't you see?
There's 0 dots being connected over here.
Well, I got a question for Clorox. Clorox,
Mhm.
I know you probably don't take financial advice from people, but if you, especially people on the internet, but
Yeah.
you know, what would you, if there was anybody on the internet that you might take advice from, would it be anybody who was giving financial advice from a trailer home?
I
Oh.
generally don't take any financial advice on the internet, and if I was to see a tip or information that I thought was important, I'd always double check my work and do my own research. That's the policy to have, no matter who it is. It's your money. You're the sole person with responsibility for it. Now,
I mean,
that
I'm just
doesn't mean
curious,
that there
though,
aren't bad actors out there, but
not trying to be a trash talker or anything, but I
Nah.
mean, would you, you know, it's obvious that people are fucking giving financial advice, or not necessarily financial advice, but you know, talking finance in
Mhm.
general, from locations where you can obviously tell they're not making any fucking money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I
just gonna say it for what it is. Like,
yeah.
who the fuck watches this shit?
Mediocre. Look at
And
this. Look at this clown in the comments here. You've been stringing your followers along for months, years. You're probably getting kickbacks from AA himself. What a dipshit, man.
man, Tony,
You
if you
realize
are
I
getting
sold my
kickbacks to
shares. I sold
fucking hook me
shares
up,
last year, right?
Tony,
You realize I told you that AMC shares were going to lose their value for a year last year due to the arbitrage. Corax told you the same thing. Mediocre told you the same thing. How is that stringing people along? I could not have been any more blunt. Why do you think all the fucking pumpers have me blocked, you dipshit?
I will say one
What a
thing on
fucking
that financial
clown.
advice point. I would say the vast majority of YouTubers I would classify as in the financial space and give financial advice. Now, does that mean that they're stock picking or whatever? No, but I hate the not financial advice thing to a certain extent. But at the same time, legally speaking, um, the laws around financial advice are pretty loose. You can say
I mean,
whatever
it's
you want to. That's
you
like
can say
us
what the
having a
fuck you want. It's
conversation
legal
back
now.
and forth.
We're here talking about it just
Yeah.
like you'd talk around the water cooler or with your friends.
The only thing the SEC cares about, and that is
But
illegal,
to this
is
guy
if you
comment here,
give
Tony,
paid direct advice. Like, say I told Tony, hey, if you gave me $25, I'll give you stock picks specific to you. That, and I was unlicensed. That's the only thing the SEC and FINRA cares about.
Clorox, these people are so fucking crazy. I've been talking to Tony. I'm like, Tony, we should do a fucking video. Seriously, I'm gonna tell you guys a video idea that I was talking with Tony about because of that same ass comment. Okay, for dumb shit like that, I'm like, we should just do a video because Grandpa Barney gets fucking grief too. It's ridiculous, but we should do a video. I told him this the other day. We should make a fake check or a fake bank statement that says we got paid by fucking Citadel or fucking
They'd all
AMC.
fucking believe it because they're that
You'll like
stupid.
this joke. Back when the first time I did a podcast all the way back in like 2008, we had a joke. Me and my podcast buddy were getting grief from these 9/11 truthers. So we did a joke thing where we went around and called a couple government agencies wondering how we could get into the government shill program and just, clipping the reactions for laughs because they didn't know what we were talking about because it's all conspiracy theory junk, but that's about on the same level.
I mean, it's insane. Do some fucking investigating for yourself, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
People take this, and this pisses me off. And Corax's friends that hate me do the same thing because I'm covering a stock. They assume I'm pumping it. Go look at how many videos I've done calling out bullshit on AMC. If you knew how many comments I get every day from people calling me a paid hedge fund plant for talking negative about AMC, I get as many of those as I do dipshits like BSKA saying that I'm paid from AA. That lets me know that I'm solidly in the middle providing fact-based information. If you can't be bothered to actually watch my content and tune in and listen to what we're saying, I will transparently and openly answer any question you have. I don't care if it hurts your feelings.
Hey, Marantz, glad you're viewing again. Appreciate the boost. Keep it up, dude. Best viewer ever.
Marantz is not going to get to join the channel because he's lied. He insults. He's a petty little child. He said I had a fake wife. He calls me a homosexual. I don't have time for dealing with fifth graders. When you can talk like a man to other investors, I still won't consider it. Sorry.
He'd have to be a man first.
He'd have to be a man first. Now you're making me go in the insult category, but
I know.
Once you cross that line, you're never going to be on my channel. But why don't you learn to act like an adult if somebody has a different opinion than you about a fucking stock? Why don't you watch my videos and quit saying I'm pumping Bed Bath & Beyond and Hycroft? Because you're lying to your audience, and I'm tired of dealing with the dipshits that you send over to my channel.
That's the only
to ask
thing
me
he
about
has
that.
got is lies.
That's all he's got is lies. Absolutely. All right, let's keep going on this table here. I want to talk about the CEO's compensation for 2023, which Variety reported as his pay being $25 million. And Corax, you were asking about the SEC rules.
Mhm.
It is, I forget which rule. I think it says it up above, but they use the fair value of the stock on the day they set the compensation plan
So
to
back
set the
in
value.
2021 then?
No, this was 2023.
Okay, gotcha.
So whenever this plan was put in place, I don't remember the date. So I don't want to give the wrong information, but it was in the past when the price was clearly higher, right?
Gotcha.
It was valued at $25, but Adam has not sold shares, so he's lost value on those awards to the tune of $17.9 million. And you can look here and see all of the values and the losses. His total compensation per the accounting rules was worth in 2023 $8.9 million, not $25 million. And that's basically his salary and the cash bonus, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to need to read through this a couple times because I said this is the most complex one of all the years I've been looking at it. And there was another table up here. Oh, it's here. It's Regulation SK Corex, item 4025.
Okay.
402V.
What page is that?
Page 70.
Okay.
And I did go briefly read this regulation.
Okay.
You can Google it.
I'll put a bookmark to go over that.
And you got to scroll all the way down in Regulation SK item 402. There's A, B, C, D. Oh, you got to go all the way down to V. Sorry, it's not 5. It's letter V. So scroll all the way down. But his compensation actually paid in 2022 was negative 16 million because he held all of his shares. I think the last time he sold was January 2022. So the value of all those vested and unvested shares that he hasn't sold, I don't know. We need to go look. And Corex, we can do this. I don't have the answer how you can get a negative. Someone asked me, well, shouldn't it just go to 0? That's a logical question.
I think what it might be is it's
I will get the answer to that before I cover this on a video because I don't like being wrong. But in essence, the total value of his compensation last year was a negative number. And if you don't believe it, I don't know what to tell you. This is an accounting rule. It's filed with the SEC.
And all I gotta say, if it's filed,
if you're an expert on it, come talk to me. If you're not, become one, and then we can have a chat.
Oh, those are adjustments, I think. So
they are adjustments. Yeah, I pulled up the 2022. If you go look at the 2022, it breaks out where this negative 16. So
what it's doing is it's saying what the value is marked by the SEC, and then it's adjusting.
It's similar. It's just like this.
So you would take the number on the left and add in that first column, and then you'd add the right column. So you would subtract that first column, 23 million, you'd subtract the 16 million, and you'd get that third column.
No, because these two are for the PEO. Weird. That's the Adam Aram. This is non-PEO.
Okay, I'll have to look at that too and figure it out, because that math is.
Just so you're clear, in the footnote here, it says Adam Aram was the PEO. Everybody else was a non-PEO.
Okay.
This is the format of the table delineated in Regulation XK. At any rate, the final thing that I want to say about compensation today, and I'm going to keep on getting all the misinformation from the dipshits on Space Calls and other YouTube channels who aren't reading this or bothering to understand it, who are going to lie to you and tell you that he made $25 million. I'm going to get all their talking points, and I'm going to fucking blow them up with dynamite.
So here's what I think. So you said he's been holding through there. What if it's calculating the losses on the shares that he had already gotten and was holding from the other 2 days? That's why it's the other 2 payment periods. That's why it's negative.
It is.
Yeah. So
it's calculate, because remember that they're in 3-year tranches.
Yeah,
they're in 3-year tranches.
He hasn't sold. I'm expecting him to sell in 25, though.
I still don't understand mathematically how it goes negative, though. So when I have the answer to that, I will make a video on this. All right. Audio Plug says, Tony, do you post all your plays on Discord? In the VIP, I do. Audio Plug. I don't want to be seen as influencing people to take certain trades, so I just post them in the VIP only. It's a more select group, and I don't ever give trading advice. All right. What other questions do we have from the adults in the chat? We're not taking any 5-year-old questions. You can go do your own live chat and keep on losing your money over there. By the way, the 5-year-old said, Tony, post your receipts. I did post my receipts. I posted my sale of GameStop in my GameStop quarterly earnings review video, and I posted the 330% gain I made on it today on Twitter and my YouTube community tab. So hopefully that suffices for your conspiracy, flat earth, I don't believe anything anyone says bullshit narrative.
Yeah, well, you're talking about someone who thinks
he says, I want to see where you posted it. Go watch my fucking video. The problem is you don't watch my videos, dipshit. It's in the fucking video. What's the minute marker, mediocre?
I forgot. It was like 1.5 minutes or something like that.
Thank you. Fucking clown.
Don't pay him any mind. He thinks that GameStop's a growing company while closing 300 plus stores. You're arguing with a child.
Don't take your anger at yourself out on us over here. Go back to your little safe zone.
Go back with the slurpers.
Unless you want factual fucking information. I mean, you're more than welcome to. You could listen, right? I don't care if you want facts, but I'm not gonna. I don't. Number one, I'll just fucking say it, Tony, because I don't give a fuck. The bottom line is, I don't acknowledge retards who can't comprehend fucking simple information. I just will ignore you. I don't care. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me. I don't give a flying fuck.
All right. What else we got to talk about? Corex, you got any other topics? We talked about Troika. We talked about GameStop earlier. We talked about AMC.
If there was anything else.
Talked about cannabis stocks,
stuff. Yeah.
Palantir. Talked about all the lawsuit nonsense.
Yeah.
Mediocre, you got anything else? I know you had a lot on your mind this week. Volume. Did you want to talk about volume?
Some people in the chat were saying that I'm encouraging people to buy AMC at the bottom, and that's funny because I bought 300 shares yesterday, and then I sold a fucking call contract against them at $3. And what part of that don't you understand? Like, look, in one hand, out the other. How's that fucking encourage people?
Yeah, and let's be very clear, because I've said this many times, but I know some of you dipshits yapping in the comments don't actually watch anything what I say. I have said this year for AMC is a volatility trade only. This is a speculative play. The company is not making money. They haven't renegotiated the debt. I am in it for buying as low as I can, as risk-free as I can, and selling it into the upswings. And I've already done that several times in the last 5 months for AMC. I'm mostly in cash, waiting to see where this thing bottoms out. Could that be any more clear? It's a fucking speculative trade on a non-profitable company. Thank you.
I just love flipping and making money every day.
That might change. My outlook might change as we get more information and we move into better quarters. But right now, this is a speculative trade. Playing it like any other stock.
We got the trailer trash in the house, Tony.
Let me go grab a beer.
Dude, you missed the whole screen.
This is gonna get
Oh,
good.
The whole screen.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
My bud. Come on.
I don't give a fuck anymore. They can all kiss my fucking ass, dude.
Oh, does he really have a clown nose? I want to see this.
I'm about to go get myself another beer. I'm already fucking pretty buzzed right now.
Bubby, thanks for this moment. Thanks for this moment. We're gonna see Tony with a clown nose and everything will be great.
Tony, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Damn.
What effect do you think the eclipse is going to have on the price of AMC shares?
Hey, I just want to say, CSI, did you see my shout out to you the other day?
No, fuck me, dude.
I did. I gave him a proper shout out for educating his audience on the short interest, and I appreciate that. He said, for all the dipshits who were saying Adam Aaron is selling shares to the shorts, how come the short interest is rising? And I want to toast a beer to you, my friend, for some good DD right there.
Hey, see, we can all be friends.
Manuel says we need a CSI versus Tony debate. There's nothing to debate. What would we debate? I don't know what we would debate.
Maybe you two could play. What's that thing that a lot of these influencers like doing, the boxing chess match thing where it's one round of boxing followed by a couple rounds of chess? That'd be interesting.
Tony, the CPA wants to invite if you can send
You
it.
texted me?
Yeah, I said, can you get off sometime so we can hang out before I have to go to sleep?
Oh, do you got to work tomorrow?
I work a 12-and-a-half-hour day tomorrow. I'll work at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
All right. We'll wrap it up soon, baby.
Yeah, you say that. That means I need to wrap up in 10 minutes.
All right. I'm getting the wife call to wrap it up soon, so we can go a few more minutes.
The CPA wants to join in. Can you send him a link?
Yeah, let me see if I can find. Where did he ask that? On your channel?
Oh, no, he sent me a direct message.
Okay. Hang on, amigo. Check your Discord DMs right now. I bet he wants to talk about GameStop.
Let him. He's a CPA. He knows what's up.
I'd sure be interested to hear what his thoughts are.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Tony. We surround ourselves by people who are intelligent enough to go get information and figure stuff out. So I don't care. Give me the heat. If you're gonna give me the heat, I'm just gonna ignore your ass anyways. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
If you can't even get the goodwill stuff right in 2 years in a row, you think you're gonna come on my channel? Come on, you fucking clown. All right, let's get the CPA on here. Let's run his little intro.
Dull, my God, it's dull. It's so desperately dull and tedious and stuffy and boring and...
All right, my friend, how are you? Our great accounting friend, what's going on this evening?
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Good.
What's up, bud?
Thanks for having me on, Tony, again. Was just listening to you guys and what this idiot had to say also about goodwill and his freaking business model on GME, right? But the reality is he doesn't even know what goodwill means, this fucking idiot.
We know that.
Right?
He's just mad that GameStop had to write off all their goodwill and he wants it to happen to everybody else.
He's getting mad because he cannot analyze the financial statements, right? Even wearing a fucking tie.
But he says he's all about the numbers. What about the numbers is he getting wrong? You said goodwill. Anything else?
The goodwill, right?
If he actually watched my channel, he would have known that there was going to be no goodwill write-off because we walked through it several times.
I would ask him what's goodwill, right? The only thing goodwill he knows about is what he sends to goodwill, right? At the end of the month. That's the only thing what he knows about goodwill.
The only goodwill he knows is dropping off his
Let me
socks
test
that he
my
doesn't need
knowledge
anymore around
since
the
I
corner.
got you here. Goodwill is like if you acquire something like a company and the cost you paid for it's different from the actual book value of it, right?
Exactly. Fair value versus book value, but he doesn't fucking know what's a fair value of a goodwill, right? A reporting unit.
Sufjan, is a COO's departure right after a double miss a good move typically?
Right.
According to the pumpers, it's great because, you know, cost savings. We really didn't need them anyways. You know what that clown's salary was? $200,000. Big fucking deal. Cost savings, my ass.
He's the type of idiot that would tell you that cutting costs is actually bullish on the financial statement. That's the type of idiot we're dealing with. We shouldn't even mention his name.
We don't mention his name. We don't mention clowns' names on this channel.
And then what's sad about it is other people actually referring their DD on this idiot's goodwill impairment tests. Bullshit.
Can you imagine how much people lost? Well, no. I can't. Can you? I was going to say lost money following. I'm not going to throw them under the bus there because we talk about AMC and AMC's down too. But we've always said AMC is a speculative play and read the financial statements, read the filings. So the time of the squeeze, guys, was 2021. You're in a different game now. If you haven't tuned into this channel since 2022, 2023, or any month in 2024, like we've been saying, we're not in 2021 anymore.
What do you mean? No squeeze?
We're not in the heyday of what we were in 2021. If I'm still clinging on to that bullshit, and I saw some funny videos of that.
I heard we were hitting 10,000 a share. What the fuck is going on?
I saw some funny videos of that clown in his car saying, what did he say? GameStop was going to go to $2,000. I promise you.
This guy was telling the chat I had to come. This guy was saying AM's GME is growing. What kind of growth are you fucking
It's
seeing
growing, bro. They opened 40 stores. Never mind the 200 that they closed.
They're cutting
don't
costs.
Look at that number.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that's really curious to me. If it's supposed to be a growing company, why has it got all this cash undeployed sitting on the balance sheet? Why
How
are they
can you lie to yourself
stores?
and your audience saying it's a growing company because they opened 40 stores when they fucking closed 200?
Yeah, so like Sufjan, what
Yeah.
growing company? Like you're a CPA.
He's fucking delusional.
He's a delusional guy wearing a freaking tie on his live stream when he sees a stock plummet 12% after earnings and wondering why.
He's wearing a
Oh.
fucking tuxedo, guy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to hear about that. Best line ever. I'm gonna have to
Oh
hear
my
about this.
god.
Hey, Sufjan, if like say usually when you have like a company that's gearing up for growth, you'd see them deploying the cash on their balance sheet. You wouldn't see them cutting a whole bunch of stores. Wouldn't they also be leveraging the assets of their balance sheet to get cash flows to grow the company? Like at least have some sort of debt, not anything beyond what they could handle, but some
Exactly,
form of
like
leveraging
a
the
reasonable,
asset.
a reasonable ratio, working capital ratio. But
'Cause
now
otherwise
it's
you're
just
not using that capital.
This
it's
is
a
the-
lot of What
It's
are
the
they
biggest
doing?
issue I have with GameStop. It's a fantastic balance sheet. I've said that a million times. But when you're not deploying that capital to in some way to benefit shareholders, it's basically useless. Like dumping it in treasuries is not exactly bullish. It's better than doing nothing. But we need to see more. And that's when I'll get really excited about GameStop. And maybe
And
that'll
that's-
happen. And I hope it happens.
Yeah. And that's the problem why I say it goes back to management, because you have all these stores that look like they're straight out of the early aughts or 90s that could get refurbished. You have stores that are 90% physical games that aren't selling. Put stuff in the stores that are actually selling, or get smaller stores and decrease your footprint and your rental costs. And there's just so much things here that just ain't being done.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys,
It's
the
disappointing.
problem with GameStop is digital downloads. Digital fucking downloads. That's why
But they have an
put my money
online
there.
store, mediocre.
Okay. I don't give a fuck, Tony. I could buy the game on fucking Xbox or PlayStation.
How'd that work out for them in 2023, Corex?
Yeah.
My prediction on GameStop, they're gonna
I
have.
love GameStop. Period. Okay, but
I used to love them, right? We used to love them because
I used to be a card-carrying GameStop member until my kid.
We had no choice. We
my
had no
kid
choice to go there.
Downloads only.
Yeah,
And I never went back. I've never been back other than walking by when I go see a movie to see if anybody's in the store.
Tony,
I'm not going to trash GameStop. They just need a new revenue stream. They need to work a deal where they can bring people back to the fucking store. That's the name of the game, period.
in the CPA world, do you know what is it called? This business model?
What's it called?
Value erosion. It's dying.
You sound
Nobody's
like here.
Yeah, I mean, it's called value erosion. They're cutting costs, and the top line is diminishing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to? It's right there to look at. I mean, you don't need to be a CPA to look at this and be aware of it. It's right there.
Well, I'm
It's
not
in
a
front of your eyes.
CPA. I'm not a CPA, and I can see it.
You can see it, and you can see there are three big segments are diminishing with the same exact ratio.
Sufjan,
What does that tell you?
What do you say to people that would say declining revenue is not a problem because they made $6 million and they can make $6 million next year, or 14 or 40?
But I'll let them.
Well, you're Sufjan, you're more of a CPA than a Wall Street analyst, so I don't know if you can answer that question.
I would say it's all about the revenue stream. When no revenue, why would they cut costs? Ask yourself, why are they cutting costs?
Well, they're cutting costs because they're trying to stay ahead of falling revenue. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, but why are they afraid? Cutting costs is never good, right? So if they cut a cost, you have to tell yourself that they plan to do it ahead, right? So they knew that their business model had some deficiencies ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not like they woke up after earnings and they realized their revenue was down, right? Because why? I'm telling you this because their profit margins remain the same. Profit margin is revenue minus
I think
So
they're probably very good at forecasting, just like AMC is. They can
exactly,
forecast
they
out
need to. They
their
have a team,
revenues
right?
and their cash burn and everything for a year or two out. And they knew they were in a declining business model. They knew they needed
Exactly.
to get maniacal about cutting costs or they were going to horribly fail in earnings. So I will hat tip and say, great job at cutting costs. But at a
Exactly.
certain point, there's no more cost to cut. And then
And
you have diminishing returns.
I would tell to that guy, first, get familiar with goodwill. Second, get familiar in how you calculate an impairment loss. And third, focus on your own shit, which is your stupid GME balance sheet and income statement before you attack other stuff.
Well, I mean,
I would-
he's very familiar with the balance sheet, and the balance sheet is fine.
It's 1/3 of the financial statements.
But
though.
it's not the company. If you're telling people I heard him say the other day, the only metric I want to talk about for the next year is how many stores did they open.
Well,
If that's what
closed
you've
more.
come to, you already lost the game. If that's
Yeah.
all you care about, how many stores did they open?
What's
That's
really
a
more
pretty fucking weak argument.
And
yeah,
you're saying you're making 5 times Tony. Show us. Show us, because Tony's showing his things on Twitter. Show us, bro. Show us how much you make.
And I would say the bigger issue, like I said earlier, was that it's not so much cutting stores, cutting costs. It's what's going into those stores, what's selling, and putting what's selling in the stores. You know, I would think that a good angle to go is you've got those GameStop membership things. What if, and you've got a trading card section, why not host, you know, with a minor fee to whoever participates, some Pokemon card tournaments, get all the younger kids in here, get feet in the store to come in and buy stuff. And if they have a membership through GameStop, they get one free tournament every month. Seems like an easy revenue stream to set up.
There's a
hasn't
lot of
somebody done
things.
it?
And look, I here's what I've said. And again, I'm not bearish on GameStop. Don't twist what I'm saying. I'm just a realist. I'm not a hopium. I'm not sucked up against that Ryan Cohen teat. I'm just someone that looks at the financial statements and calls it like it is. They have a chance. They've got a long runway with little risk of bankruptcy. They've got a fantastic balance sheet. They have done a fantastic job of cutting cost. And if I was in management in that company, I'd be running around like saying, how do we stem the bleeding? How do we patch that artery so that we can figure out how to grow? And they've done a great job at that. And they might still have declining revenue for another year or two. So that concern is not going to go away. Even if they improve profits, they're still in a declining revenue industry. And you don't want to be, look, you're the future of your investment portfolio. You're not going to get rich on a company that is declining in revenue and just barely eking out a profit. You're just not.
With a catalyst, with a short squeeze catalyst, maybe.
You're just not. It's not going to happen.
So mediocre.
Watch what's going to happen on these channels. They're going to start shifting the narrative to talking about short volume, naked shorts, because the financials aren't going to matter anymore. They're going to be a wreck, and they're going to have to shift their narrative. That's not a narrative I cover on my channel because I just don't care to. But you're going to see the GameStop people change their narrative to the more conspiracy stuff because that's all they'll have left to hang their hat on until Ryan Cohen changes the strategy of the company.
And that's where those calls come in. Like you should be communicating to your investors what the strategy is. And my big worry as to why Ryan Cohen isn't having any investor earnings calls or any sort of communication with investors is he doesn't have a fucking plan.
That's my concern too. That's why I sold before earnings. No call, no hold. I'm not going to hold my stock if you're not going to have a call.
Mediocre. You're a great TA expert. I want to know, like, I don't know if you had the chance to do it, but what does the chart of GME telling you right now?
Tells
if
me
you
it's
saw
going
it
down in price. going to continue
All right.
going. It's going to continue falling in price. That's what I see.
Thank you.
We already put up the charts. It's
I'm
in
not
it's
hating
in a
on
falling
GameStop.
wedge until something changes.
You know, their balance sheet, their stuff looks good. They need something to sell to the population, right? That's it. To their customers, they're gonna have to find something that they can sell. They need a revenue stream, or they're done. They don't have games no more, right? So they got. I heard this, and I'm not certain it's true or not. Don't hold me to it, but I think that they got GTA 6 coming out. I think that comes out next year. Next year, no, 2026 maybe. No, 2025. I can't remember the year. I know it's coming out because I'm waiting for it too. Hopefully that is true that they get it and you're forced to buy that from them, right? Which is possible. It's a Rockstar game. Okay. So for all the people who think I might not know what I'm talking about, believe me, I'm a gamer. I get it. Okay. Hopefully they get that because that can help them in a way, but they need more deals like that because they do not have games aren't put on discs anymore. That's just the truth, right? So when you buy a game,
Even if you get the disc, all it is this cardboard cutout telling you to go to the Steam store and use this Steam code to go get it off of.
I did
Steam.
a poll on Twitter that said I want to buy GTA 6. What should I upgrade? I have a Xbox. What do I have? An Xbox One over here.
PC
right
Master Race.
I have a console right here, and I just bought a headset because we're gonna do some gaming.
yeah,
And I used to a lot with my kid, but I did a poll and I said, should I buy the new PlayStation when it comes out or upgrade my Xbox whenever the next one comes out? And you know what the answer was? Play it on the PC.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
I don't even play games on the PC, but like if that was the overwhelming answer, that doesn't bode well for GameStop.
Well, that's
So,
right.
so here's the thing. This is why I think there's a place for console and a place for PC, right? PC by far is way better gaming. There's better graphics, there's better speed, right? When you're stuck on a console, you're stuck at whatever Xbox gives you or PlayStation gives you with the equipment that's built into the system, okay?
Mhm.
It's great for younger kids, right? 6 to 16, 17, but once they start getting older, everybody moves into PC gaming. That's just at least that's how I've always
To
seen it.
add to that, what I think would be a great revenue stream that GameStop could use to capitalize on that is ever since we got into this, higher end gaming, say around 2006, probably 2008, there used to be a PC market where you could get pre-builts at a really cheap competitive price that was still pretty decent. And you don't see that market anymore, but you have a lot of this older hardware that you could get on the cheap. Like that was my first gaming PC. I got a $200 computer, threw a $200 graphics card on it. Boom. I was good to go. But you see a lot of these refurbished old office PCs hitting the market, all this old used stock or old new stock that you could get on cheap. You're telling me that GameStop can't devote some of that cash on its balance sheet to get a prefabbed case to make it look all cool and fancy for the gamers, put a bunch of old cheap hardware that can still game really well. All the margins, all the cash flow would go to them, not some third party like Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. You sell that as an entry-level PC and you go, your kid will enjoy it because they can game on it, and you'll like it as a parent because they can do their homework on it too. Can any of these consoles do that? And then you sell them on the insurance, you sell them on the pay-as-you-go plan. And by the way, you could probably get a kickback if you paired up with Epic Games and said, hey, if we preload Epic Games onto it, so all these people want to come to you to buy from you, would you work out a deal with us? And we'll load every one of our PCs that we sell with Epic Games Store right from the start.
That's a pretty smart, I would say that's a pretty smart revenue stream right there, right? They should start looking into something like that. I don't disagree with you on that at all. Because you're never going to get the business back from Xbox. They're not going to give it to you. Okay? You're not going to get it back from Sony. So, Nintendo's more cartridge stuff. I'm not sure how Nintendo's.
They do have digital downloads too. And that's
Yeah,
really the
so-
problem with video games is how Walmart competes with Amazon is, yeah, you could get it cheaper on Amazon, but you can go to Walmart and get it now. There's no advantage to that for digital, for video games, because I can not only get it cheaper, I can get it now. So you can't compete on the games front.
So I'm not a GameStop hater. I just want to be
No,
clear.
not by any means.
None of us are. We all want to see GameStop succeed. And what I was going to say, like the strength of their balance sheet and the fact that they're cutting costs and the fact that they made the year profitable for 2023, they're stemming the bleeding, and that gives management then some time for their brain power to think about the next play. Like, where do we go from here? As long as this year is not more cost cutting to stem off another year of bleeding, I really am excited to hear about what they want to do next. But I'm not willing to buy and hold for a year while they figure it out. If they figure it out and an announcement comes out, it takes me 5 seconds to buy in.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, right? Like, I don't think there's going to be a short squeeze like people think, but that's my opinion, right? And I trade with my own money. You trade with your own money.
But Tony,
Okay,
what
I've
if you
said
wake
that
up
throughout
and
the
it's
show.
gone
But I
up
will say-
300%? What mediocre? What if you wake up and
Who
it's
gives
gone?
a shit?
Audio
I
Plug
don't care.
Records. This is a family-friendly show. How dare you?
You know how many
the thing
plays we wake up to that have gone up a couple 100% every fucking day? There's a play that's gone up a couple 100%. You know how many times I care about it? 0. Because there's always other ones we can find.
Yeah.
That's right. And so what I wanted to say is, it's a question. It's a part question, part whatever. But did GameStop reach out to its shareholders and talk to them about coming up with a new revenue stream like AMC did? Like, I'm not trying to bring the conversation back to AMC, but I mean, popcorn in the stores and in the grocery stores and stuff, that was all retail's idea. All the chocolate stuff, all that stuff, the T-shirts you could get now, all that stuff was retail investors' ideas given to AMC to help make it profitable. Did GameStop shareholders do the same thing for GameStop? I don't follow GameStop.
Well, I think the reason that works out for AMC is because the board and Adam Aaron has made it clear that they're interested in hearing these ideas. Whereas, and this goes back again to my problem isn't with GameStop, my problem is with management. I don't think Ryan Cohen would accept an idea unless he thought it was his idea to begin with. So even if retail shareholders went to him with ideas, he wouldn't care. They weren't his ideas. He's in charge.
That idea that you just came up with, in my opinion, is a good idea. Right?
Well, I've been in the business before. I know what I like you. I'm a gamer, and I've also worked in retail gaming, so I have a pretty good idea of how the industry operates.
Can we talk about Tech We Love's question?
Sure.
GME made the news about investments and Ryan Cohen. So basically, Ryan Cohen is going to act like a hedge fund, and they recently updated the rules that said there had to be some oversight by other board members, right? You guys saw that. How come we haven't heard about them? How come we haven't heard anything about that from them? I think that initially when they announced that, there was probably some talk like, hey, Ryan, you can't just go gamble the shareholders' money like that. We need to update the rules. So they did update the rules.
And I don't think they planned on actually doing the hedge fund thing. Like the bonds and the bond trades, I think was about as much as it was going to be. You heard a lot of talk about how they were going to be the next Berkshire Hathaway. And I think everyone knew that that was going to create a huge conflict of interest, and that's why they updated the rules. That's why they were only trading in treasuries instead of doing some of these bigger flourishes. And I think a lot of influencers on the internet that were bullish on GameStop talked it up beyond what it was ever going to be.
Without a doubt. Like, guys, you're talking about a corporation. Like, a corporation is going to try and be a good steward of investors' money, I think.
You'd hope.
You would hope. So I heard people saying, well, maybe Ryan Cohen invested in Bitcoin, or maybe he invested in what were some of the other silly stuff they threw out? Things that were squeezing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he did, but no, he didn't. They have a responsibility to be good stewards of your money and not take unreasonable risk. And if I saw them taking unreasonable risk, I would fucking call it out.
That's why I think if Mike, on a completely different topic, if MicroStrategy goes tits up again because Michael Saylor had yeeted the entire balance sheet into Bitcoin and it dumps again, that he's going to expose himself to some real shareholder litigation with his monkeying around in Bitcoin.
So I have no problem with them investing the money. Just make it smart. It should be traditional, safe investing. I think. And that's not gonna meet people's expectations. They want investing that's going to create a moonshot. But if you're risking that much, you are gambling with people's money, with people's lives, with people's livelihoods. And I think that they are setting themselves up for lawsuits to do that shit. So I don't think that they will do that.
And you have to understand with what happened with Berkshire Hathaway is, yeah, it was a textiles company, but when it was taken over by Warren Buffett, they cleaned all that stuff, sold out, and then just turned it into basically a hedge fund. So we haven't seen that with GameStop yet. So it's not likely that that's the route they're going to go down as of right now.
Here's the problem I see with GameStop, and I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that. I'm just going to cut it to the point here with the balance sheet and in the financials and all the quarterly earnings and stuff, right? It all started with Roaring Kitty, and he's gone. Like, it was a different play then, right, than it is now, and people need to realize that, and if you don't, you're going to go down with the ship. I mean, that's just the truth. So personally, I don't trade the stock. I don't trade GameStop. I don't even own any shares of it. It's just not. I gave my reasons. I don't like any brick and mortar businesses at all. I have this conversation all the time.
I'm not a general fan of any brick and mortar that carries inventory either. However, I have been trading GameStop just because of the volatility. It's a great play to trade.
Oh, I don't disagree. I mean, it's how often is it brought up in the Discord, Tony? All the time. But I don't enter. I'm waiting for an entry. I've been talking about it,
And we have people in the Discord that are big time, large shareholders in GameStop. We talk about it almost every day, right, Mediocre?
Every day. It's one of the main topics of conversation. Along with AMC.
We're not against it. We're trying to figure out how to be smart about it, like how to make money.
It's about protecting your portfolio. To me, that's my number one priority, to protect my money. That's it.
Mediocre, are you a big fan of buy, hold, and average down?
No. Well,
nor am I.
Average down if you can, but
nor am I.
Yeah. If I ever go underwater, I think there's an opportunity where I could average down and get my money out, I do it. But I'm not afraid to sell a stock. I'll sell that shit in a second. I don't care.
Because you gotta not only look at the risk reward, but you have to look at the gain risk. Like, say, if you decide to hold an average down on a company, not only are you averaging down on a loser and deploying more capital to it, where could that capital have gone elsewhere that could have gotten you more money? And you have to look at that when you're doing something like that.
That's where opportunity cost comes into the discussion. Opportunity cost has just entered the room. Like, if your entire investment portfolio consists of GameStop and Costco, and you're excluding everything else that is moving, then you are losing just by the definition of opportunity cost.
Or even just in that portfolio itself, why are you deploying more into GameStop when clearly Costco is the better player in your portfolio?
Now, here's a better thought,
because of the moonshot. Correct.
I say this a lot.
But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to.
I'd rather
They don't want to
consistently make
admit that they're in it for the
5%
moonshot.
than make like
Right.
90%
That's
one
the point
time, and
where I'm
that's
about
it.
to go, Tony. The point is I don't give a fuck what the ticker symbol is. It doesn't matter to me. It's how much money am I going to make? I'll move my money from this ticker to that ticker, make my money. I made a bunch of money on Cinemark. When everybody else got smacked with the dilution on AMC, I was over in Cinemark. And everybody knows that in the Discord, don't they, Tony?
Yep.
There's no shame in my game. I don't care. And if you're going to hate me because they're calling me a sellout because I sold out AMC, number one, let's get something fucking clear right now. I am not a fucking ape. That's all I gotta
Manuel,
say.
Manuel, I'm not purposely trying to misspell your name. It's just fat fingers. Hey,
Well,
Manuel, you don't like me very much, do you? What's your best shot against me, Manuel? Now's your chance. Corex, he's your buddy, right?
If you want to say that, sure.
You streamed with him, right?
You know what else makes me laugh, you guys, honestly? Is
I think Manuel thinks I pump AMC because he doesn't talk to me every day. Mediocre, do I pump AMC?
No, not at all. That brings up this question. A lot of people they like to say this, Tony. They like to say, well, Warren Buffett made his money buying and holding. No, he didn't. God damn.
Manuel says I'm a huge fan. You're a fucking liar, Manuel. I know you, Manuel. I see you. I see you and your friends lying on me. You're lying on me, Manuel.
So,
Hey, guys.
Tony, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Manuel's blocked from my channel.
Mediocre. You want to make something clear. Say that you're not an ape. So here's the thing, right? That people don't understand. Things change, right? Like maybe you were an ape before, but now you're not an ape. Can you explain why are you saying that now? Because of the play changed, right?
We're not in 2021 anymore, Mr. CPA.
Yeah. The short interest is well down, and the short. And I know people are saying, "Oh, but right now the short interest is climbing. It's climbing." What do you mean mediocre? Like it's going up? Yeah, it's going up because AMC is unloading shares in this dilution, and they haven't updated the fucking float yet. I mean, come on, man.
Audio Plug wants to hear everybody's guess for the AMC bottom. I already know Mediocre's answer, but I want to hear Corax, and I'll be happy to tell you mine.
I don't normally do bottoms because, as I said in the last time, it can always go lower. But I'd be more inclined to think that if I was to guess one, you're close to or at it. But I generally don't do that sort of game because
I know it's a very dangerous game because people they'll try and hold you accountable to your fucking opinion. But this is just an opinion. We're just fucking having a beer. We're like 4 drinks in at this point.
Tony, if we're doing this, you better bring the spreadsheet up because I want my backup.
No, I've already done 3 fucking videos on the spreadsheet. We're not bringing it up tonight. Go watch the fucking videos. Especially watch the last one with the folder of conspiracy theories, because that one is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Listen, it's already out there. My opinion is on the fucking spreadsheet. But I will say, could AMC go lower than what it's at? It could, but from my opinion, I don't think it'll be a sustained down pressure. So that's my thought.
I will tell you what I've been doing and what I think. I've been buying below $3 in the last week. I have been selling cash secured puts with a $3 strike, which is also a bullish play. Letting you know that I don't think it's really going to go below $3, but if it does, I'm willing to pay $3, and I will let those puts get exercised, and I'll take the stock at $3. Could it go lower than $3? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to hit $1.50 or $1.60 like these dipshits are saying? I do not, but I've also been wrong about how long the stock's going to go, how low it's going to go. So don't fucking take advice from me.
To put it another way, as someone who has shorted stocks before, at the current price that AMC is at, even if I thought this company was going to bankruptcy, theoretically, I wouldn't short it here because there's so little downside gain and so much upside risk.
The quarters from here only get better. The only risk that I want to see out of the way is the debt restructuring. So I am mostly bullish, and I'm mostly in cash. You guys know, even though Manuel and his friends don't believe me, I sold my AMC a day before the dilution announcement, almost all of it. And what I kept was protected with $4 puts that expire in January.
Listen, I'm going to tell everybody live right here, right now. I know for a fact what Tony just told you is true because I fucking wanted him to be wrong. Because I did not want to buy back my fucking options.
We were talking about it for a week before I did it, right, Mediocre?
Absolutely, we were.
I don't know why these fuckheads why your friends don't believe me, Corax. Like, I don't fucking come on camera and lie. Manuel.
I'm telling you the topic of conversation.
Railvin, or however you say your name. I don't fucking lie on camera. What I tell you is what is the actual facts. I sold my shares. What I kept was protected by $4 January puts, and I'm doing fine on that. It hedged my position perfectly. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to close out those puts or not. It might go lower. So I'm going to see how next week goes. But I think we're close to a bottom. So I'm starting to buy in this range, especially below $3. I had a limit order to buy at $2.95 today. It didn't hit.
So Tony, I remember that conversation well. And the reason I totally remember that is because I wanted your ass to be so fucking wrong, dude. Oh God, I wanted you to be wrong.
Look, it could go lower if the market crashes, if bad news comes out. I'm not always right. This is just my fucking opinion.
If they raise interest rates because they have to because of inflation, all fucking stocks in the market are going to go down, right? You can't account for that.
You want to know what though? You want to know what? I'm not risking enough that it fucking matters.
Yeah, that's always the key point.
I'm not one of these people that is ever going to be crying on YouTube that I'm losing my house or getting a divorce because I risked so much on a speculative play. It's a speculative play, guys. Read the risk factors. Size your position appropriately and don't cry to me.
On a completely different point, I would say, as a reminder that I usually say a couple times on Tony's shows, is everyone getting excited about, will the Fed cut rates? Will the Fed not cut rates? And I would just remind people that interest rates on U.S. Treasuries are a function of growth and inflation expectations. And if the Fed's cutting rates, that means they expect growth. Economic growth is going into the toilet. Keep that in mind when you get all excited that the Fed's announcing rate cuts.
Manuel says, why did you delete your clip celebrating with cigar? I think it was in the moment, Manuel. All right. You guys want to know the answer to this. I know a lot of y'all want to know the answer. The day that the APE AMC conversion happened, we were celebrating, right, Mediocre? We had sold our AMC high. We had bought APE cheap. We had been telling people for a year that was going to happen. And there was going to be a moment where APE was going to run up and you could recapture some profits and fix your position, right?
Yes. We had many
conversations. We took a lot of bullets. I took a lot of arrows in the back.
Tony
I took a lot of hate. I took all the fucking hate.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't come out here and tell people because the fucking hate was ridiculous.
I
So
took the hate for a fucking year from these dipshits, the no voters.
I said, hell with it. I only cared about.
I celebrated with a cigar and too many drinks because we were right. Everything we told you was going to happen happened. And that's what I was celebrating. I was not celebrating people losing money on AMC. I was celebrating that I had made the right trading decision. I had corrected my trade, my portfolio. I had gone heavy on ape at the last minute when I could buy it as cheap as I could, when the disparity between the two equities was the highest. And I was just celebrating being right. And I said a few things that were mean. And so I put the video on private. It's still there. Maybe one day I'll go in and edit it and take out the mean shit I said. But I was just so fucking tired of people shooting bullets at me for a year that I don't like being drama and mean. I just don't.
Yeah. And I had my own arbitrage pool party stream too. So.
And I had a couple drinks that night. So I said a couple things. I haven't even watched. I'm going to be honest. I have not rewatched that live stream. I don't ever rewatch my live streams. One day I might go rewatch it and edit out those moments that where I was maybe not as nice as I'd like to be. But that's why it's in private right now. That's it.
Because
it's really that
to
simple.
Be totally honest with everybody.
I tell mediocre every day, like, I don't like to be a drama person. I'm not here to start fights with people. I'm here to help people.
It's like my rant earlier. Like, I feel bad that I ranted like that. But the truth is it's frustrating when you want to help people, right? Because you don't think that we know that people got smashed in this play? Seriously, like, you don't think that we know people are 90 something fucking % down? We know, believe me, we know.
We tried to warn them for a year.
Okay.
And I looked at it from the legal angle and it's like, look, there's no way if the court believes that what AMC said, that they were going to bankruptcy and there was no reason not to believe it, then unless the deal gave shareholders absolutely nothing, it was going to get approved, because otherwise everyone gets liquidated and it's just bad news for everybody.
And the judge's hands were tied to liquidate shareholders. She wasn't going to do that. She was going to give them the opportunity to recover at the shareholders' expense. I mean, it was fucking obvious. I'm sorry that people were misled, right? But I didn't mislead people. Tony didn't mislead people. I could tell you that. Because, hey, and other YouTubers got that information. I personally gave it to some people in my fucking Discord. And so
for all of you that hate us, we shared this information with other people and they refused to cover it with their audiences.
Heck, you even had Chancery Daly on to ask questions from her and have her explain the whole process and everything.
I feel bad for everybody that lost money, but I mean, I did my fucking best to tell people what I thought. There's no guarantees, right? But what I thought was going to happen by reading the legal documents, knowing that AMC had properly disclosed everything. And it seemed very obvious to me how it was going to go down.
Now, I'll say this I really want to say. Now, I didn't come out here, go on YouTube and take all the hate, because there was a lot of hate back then. A lot of hate. Okay. I tried to help. I tried to help with the people who had the voices. You know what, though? Tony was a gentleman and went out and told all of you what was going on. I know, because we talked every day, and he would say, you want to do a video? Want to do a video? No, I didn't want to do a video. Why? So I could come out here to be attacked? I know after this video I'll be attacked. But you know what? Now I don't care. Like, I don't feel bad, because I've been out here trying to teach people, hey, listen, Tony and I went into Twitter. We did live streams trying to teach people that options are not bad like some of these people say. If you understand options, you can use them in your favor. There's many ways to protect your position if you're underwater. There's a lot of things you could do, okay? But if you sit there and do nothing and watch these people who tell you ridiculous things, I can't help you. You got to make the decision for yourself. That's all I can say, right? So I did. I came out with Tony. I said, you know what, Tony, you're right. Let's go out and let's talk about strategies, actual trading strategies that can help people. Okay, let's try and get them to understand that buy and hold narrative doesn't work, right? And so we did that, and some people listened. Like there's a few people who actually had conversations about it and enjoyed the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it gets old. You think I want to come out here every day and talk about the same old stuff? Like what I do is extremely boring, It's fun at the beginning of the week, but in the middle of the week, you're sitting here, you're like twiddling your thumbs.
We do most of our trades on Monday.
Yeah. I will say that the reason why I was pretty radio silent, except for the 2 live streams I did this week, was because this was my big research week. I redid my entire Excel tracker, and so I was kind of well, and also there hasn't been really much going on the lawsuit front, so it was nice to have a vacation and take a break a little bit and then make some money.
And I've said this before, like I do less videos now just because I'm tired of dealing with the dipshits. Corax, you seem to thrive on dealing with the dipshits. What's your secret?
Look, my secret is I already know I'm the heel, so I don't care. I'm here to be booed. That's how I get over. I already know that's my part of the program. I'm the heel, and I know that I'm smart enough that 99% of the time I'm not wrong, and so I get to rub that extra salt into the wounds after too.
I know that 99% of the time I'm not wrong, but I'm not here to rub salt in anybody's wounds. Like I want to actually help.
Well, yeah, if they don't deserve it, like if it's an honest conversation, then I don't. But
but there's a lot of people that come at you hard too. I see it on Twitter. Those people deserve it. Like that dipshit that was in here talking about GameStop earlier. Like when they're so convinced they're right and they've never been right about anything, they deserve it.
Well, see, he's put himself in a nice little walled garden where he's blocked me on Twitter, and then he throws stones from his YouTube channel, but he can't take the stones being thrown back at him.
The people in the general audience, the people we're talking to right now, the people I interact with on Twitter, I genuinely want to help them. So I try and avoid the whole drama stuff. And if you throw something at me, I'm just going to block you and never respond to it because I'm not here for that. I've only got so many years left here on this planet, and I want them to be a positive contribution.
See, people confuse me clapping back at them with getting butthurt. Like that whole time that he was in the comments, yapping his mouth, I was just sitting here and just letting him go. Because all he's proven is that exactly what the meltdowners think about him, that he's all ass hurt because he fucked his life permanently by not managing his portfolio properly. And now everyone's just pointing and laughing at him. And the more he chirps at people, the more they laugh and the louder it gets. And I'm here for it, all of it.
But Corax, there's a way for people to repair their positions, right? It may not be in GameStop or GME, right? But they can recover money if they try to understand and learn how the market truly operates, right?
Right.
If you're not willing to do that,
absolutely,
I can't help you.
But he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't have the mental capacity. He doesn't have the maturity to do it.
Do we think that Ron is being sincere in his comment or not? Let me pull up Ron's comment here. Ron, are you joking or are you serious?
I mean, we already brought that up. You're like about a half hour too late there, Ron.
Yeah.
I know Ron's name. I've seen him around. I just don't know if he's sincere in this comment or he's just trying to make a joke.
Oh, that could be.
Well, I just want to let you know, heads up, Tony, that it was me that blocked your Dougie interview. See, we talk a lot, and we're on the same level, and I get a nice paycheck, and so I vetoed that. I'm sorry, my dude.
Oh God.
Even if that were true, which I know it's not, I don't fucking care.
Exactly. That's why it's funny.
Oh, so he's just kidding. He just got out from driving, Tony.
I know. I know Ron's been around for a while. I didn't think he was serious, but I wanted to give him a chance to say it.
Oh no, you're good. I was gonna say, because we made a joke earlier about making fake checks saying that we got paid by Citadel.
Ron, I get so many people that say that every day that are serious. It would amaze you.
Speaking of the fake paychecks joke, there's always been because I always like doing the video editing and having fun doing the videos and kind of putting on a show. One of these times, the idea that I've been kicking around in my head is just going full for like comedic effect, full like one of these pumpers, except in the style of oh gosh, what's that 80s talk show thing? Max Headroom, with the like whole CGI thing and everything, and playing it up for laughs. I think that would be real fun.
On what topic?
Being
Tony,
like
pull Gus's
playing
comment.
up as a joke, as like these like the whole gimmick would be like playing the Max Headroom thing as if they were a grifter finfluencer, and just making fun of all the finfluencers by proxy through the
Ramen Soup, shout out. What's up? Ramen does a good job of exposing a lot of bad information out there. We did talk about TRKAQ earlier, early on,
back at the beginning of the stream.
And just to recap, I've only talked about Troika one time in the last year. You can go find my video a year ago where I said something is fishy in Troika. Something's fishy in the Troika soup. Take your money and run, kids.
And sure enough,
Tony, pull up Gus's comment. It's the third one down.
Tell me I'm telling you a lie?
No, the one below that.
Spreadsheets are a lie?
No, not that one. That's a good one too.
Run the numbers?
Yeah. Come on, Tony, run the numbers.
It's funny because Mediocre and I were having this talk. Like, we both have the same sense about what is going on with the dilution, but I'm a very visual person because Mediocre and I can both like see it in our brain of what is happening, but I need to have a way to communicate it to you guys and also to prove it to myself. So I put it in spreadsheet format, which is how we knew that the ape arbitrage thing was we were 100% spot on. And I shared that spreadsheet with you guys long before it happened. But same with the dilution. Like I put the spreadsheet together, and that's how we that's our DD. And we will adjust it as new data comes in. But the fact that my DD got brought up on another YouTube pumper Kool-Aid drinking channel, and he said immediately, without even knowing the full information, oh, well, it sounds like they're trying to drive a narrative. It sounds like some flat earth conspiracy theory. Like, dude, you are the fucking epicenter of flat earth conspiracity theories. How dare you call us
Tony, we call that confession through projection.
It's like, literally, you are the epicenter of flat earth, and you want to call real data coming in. Don't look at that, guys. It might be FUD. How about you have a discussion about it? How about you not have your mod shut down somebody asking a legit question? The guy asking the question wasn't being rude. He was just asking about some DD.
The cult might, wake up to the fact that they're in a cult if they got information outside the compound.
Exactly. Jim Jones over there got to keep the Kool-Aid flowing,
Hey, the Kool-Aid people will tell you it wasn't Kool-Aid, it was Flavor Aid. There's a difference.
Steven, you should come on for a few minutes.
Super Steven, you want me to send you a invite? We got like 5 minutes left. You can come on and say hello. I got a special intro all made up for you.
Oh boy. I'm going to have to figure out how to do all this stuff on Restream when I do stuff.
Well, just hit me up and I'll tell you how I did it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make these more
I need
fun
to
and
I need to have pro wrestling intros for all my guests.
yeah, I'm trying to make it more fun and enjoyable for myself because
Mhm.
honestly, a lot of the lives have got tedious where I feel like I'm arguing with people and I don't want to be here
Yeah.
arguing. This is my relaxed time. I
That's why
literally
I've started.
I work from 6 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. every day. When I come on the live stream at night, I just want to have a
Yeah.
fucking drink, have a
Well,
fucking
that's
smoke, chill with my homies, and crack a few jokes and laugh at some fucking dipshits
yeah.
on
Well, that's
other
why
YouTube channels.
that's why I started doing like the football stream that I'm doing of the UFL stuff, and probably going to be doing some gaming streams because you know what? I like talking finance, but occasionally I just want to chill with some friends.
I just wanted to come on and have a beer and hang out tonight, but man, ended up on a rant because it gets to me. It gets to me. It's overwhelming sometimes, right? Like I try to just keep myself in my Discord and stay in my lane, but
There comes a certain point where people lie about you so much that you can't take it anymore, mediocre.
yeah,
Yeah, I had that situation before with the number one cuck.
Oh my gosh.
He's a special cookie.
I hope he sees the DD we put up about the Project Popcorn Tony Denaro statement of facts. I hope he realizes at some point that this was all properly disclosed by the company a year before it came into existence, and that any lawsuit he thinks he's going to do against the company is going to go absolutely nowhere. And I don't mean that to be mean to him, but he's so
I fully do.
he's so all about evidence. The evidence is right there in the June 30th 10Q.
they'll ignore it, Tony. Mark my words, they'll ignore it. They're not going to care.
I know, that's why I don't engage with them. They don't care about actual facts. They only care about their facts.
They think that they could get a judge to overturn what they
The judge is not going to overturn what is in a company 10Q 1 year before the fucking thing came out.
I agree.
It was there for everybody to see. If you didn't read it, wah, too fucking bad.
That's exactly
welcome to investing.
Yeah, they're going to run into the same problem that the MMTLP people did. They filed their lawsuits, and each and every one of them, the judge said, "See you later. Dismissed with prejudice."
That doesn't mean that I don't have empathy for the fact that they lost money. They're just barking up the wrong tree. They're wasting time focusing on something they're never going to win instead of figuring out how to correct their portfolio. Listening to people that actually would help them.
Spend all that energy on getting your portfolio back and not on things that will yield no results.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to see emotional energy wasted on things that aren't going to yield anything. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, maybe we should call it a night. I already went 45 minutes past when I told my wife to be wrapping it up. Thank you, Mediocre. Thank you for our CPA that dropped in. Thank you to the couple of other YouTube guests that dropped in with their comments. They will never be on my channel because they don't know how to behave like adults. They don't know how to provide content without insults and lies. And I don't do that shit over here. Corex, thank you. I know you don't like me. You probably hate me. I know all your friends hate me, but somehow you manage to still behave like an adult over here. And I appreciate, even if we have different views on some plays, even though some plays we agree on, right?
Yeah. Amazing that you can have a varied discussion and opinion with people when you just act like an adult.
Just act like a fucking adult.
have a conversation. Jesus. I don't know.
All right. Love you guys. Love you all in the audience. Thank you for those that joined as a member tonight. You do have free access to the Discord. Just link up your Discord app to your YouTube channel. If you need access to the AMC room, you're going to need to have a chat with me, a one-on-one. So I will reach out to you if you're a new member on the channel. Otherwise, the Discord is wide open to you. Discord is free to anybody that's supporting the channel as a member. And again, your 16 pennies per day just goes to help offset all of the tools that I pay for to provide you the information. If you want to know how much money I'm making off of YouTube, go on socialblade.com and look me up. It's like $200 a month. I don't put out a lot of videos. I'm not here to get rich or grift off of you. I'm here fucking doing research and trading every day, and I'm trying to fucking help you people. If you value that, join the channel, support the channel. If you don't, everything will still be here free to view. You can watch it for free.
And I just want to say good night. And if I offended you in any kind of way, that's really not my intention. Just want it to be more of a learning experience. So good night.
Yep. See you folks at 6:30 tomorrow. We will watch some football.
All right. You doing a live stream for football tomorrow?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to run the outro. Guys, I'm not going to hang around backstage because it's late at night. So we will see you on the next one.
Good night.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move